Alright, so, we might have an issue here. The lighting is top-notch, but you know what's not top-notch? The frames. Now, the frames are not being dropped. This is not a, Here, let me turn this down. This is not an issue of, like, internet. You know what I mean? It's not like that. I think what we have is a frame mismatch. Anybody else seeing that? That I'm like, yeah, the movement's not too fluid, right? Can I confirm that? Now, I may or may not be able to fix this. While, I think. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a framing mismatch. Anybody else noticing this? Nice, YS. It's very choppy. Okay, just wanted to confirm that. Just wanted to confirm that you're seeing what I'm seeing. All right, so the thing about this is that some of the settings, I can't change while I'm streaming. So, like, worst case scenario would be that we have to kill the stream and bring it back. Alright, video bitrate is encoder presets, audio encoder. It's not there. No, it's not there. Audio, it's not there. Video. Okay, I think I found maybe the problem. We are back, but I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this. See, we got the lighting is on point, the camera is on point, right? I plugged in the good camera. The problem is I think that it is mismatched with the. Like, yeah, it looks like to me that it looks like my camera's on 60 frames per second and my software is on 30 frames per second. Oh my god, this is the time. This is the time more than any other time that we need the experts in chat. I don't know if the experts are here though. I started the stream a little late. Most of the experts have gone to bed by now. If there's any experts in chat. All right. Yeah, I just don't know how to change the I really don't know how to change the. I don't know how to change the frame rate. I think that's what's wrong. So, like, I mean, I can definitely, I could switch the FPS to 60 on OBS. I'd have to stop the stream. As Yoda would say, expert, I am not. Hello, fellow humans. Been a while. Good to see you. See you, flip. Oh, wait, are we flipped? Okay, that's the right. See you on the flip side. Oh. Sorry, I thought you were saying I was flipped. Yeah, it's not just slow motion, it's the frame rate mismatch is the technical term for this. And the question I have is like, what's mismatched and how do I change it to not be mismatched? Exposure, automatic. Is this exposure on? I don't think so. Okay, that's care about. Sorry, chat. I just it's really bothering me. Okay. Let's look this up. I was all ready to like tell you about my amazing adventure yesterday, and now I'm getting amazing adventure in. Why am I wearing safety goggles? It's to protect me. It's to protect me from getting squirted in the eye. No, it's just like I got kitted out for SongCon, chat. I went and I played Pew Pew. I celebrated. Yeah. Aww. Stream settings? No, there's no way. That doesn't have like frame rate in it. Oh my god. Well, no, I'm gonna hate it. You know what? Actually, wait, let's just try this. Wait, it's still gonna be bad though. But I can switch this here, and I can switch anything else. Try this. Oh my god, who's overexposed? Okay. Look, is this better? This is better. God damn it. God. Okay, we're gonna have to do it like that, chat. I am so sorry. I had better video all set up for you, but there is stuff that I need to consult with the experts. Okay. This is how we're gonna have to do it for now. You missed the Katie Halper show? I'm sorry, is that like relevant? You're gonna have to help me out, chat, because I'm like in 8 different places at once, trying to figure stuff out. So yes, chat, I celebrated the new year yesterday. I celebrated Songkran, and yeah, look, I could. My whole setup by pressing down on this right now. I almost got I almost got some important stuff wet yesterday. I was kind of lucky. I got more soaked than I realized. Got home, so grabbing some stuff if inactive for a few. No most technical stuff other than specifically streaming and bit rates. Well, this is not bit rates. This is, we're talking about, and it might not look, was that too loud? Was that too loud? You're typing. Oh my god. You're typing your inner monologue, aren't you? I can relate to that, Renato. I sometimes say my inner monologue out loud, so. But anyway, happy New Year, everyone. Happy Songkran. So, yeah, what do we got? So the lighting should be better. I mean, it's not. I think I just have to adjust my bit rate. But yeah, this is not how I wanted to start out. I was supposed to start out more like this. Hey, everybody. Hope everyone is having an amazing morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is in your time zone. It is Monday, April 15th. No, sorry, Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. We are live and alive, or at least that's how it seems to me. Could be ripping off Hasan slightly, don't know, don't care. Shouts out to all my weasels out there, all my forest creatures, rocking out to the realest of the real synthetic lifeform streamer. Wrapped in a cyber brain and body like some kind of ghost in a half shell in this late stage hyper-capitalist dystopia. Forced to exist in this twilight realm to pay off my debt to society and my student loans. I hope you're having a good day, whoever, whatever, and wherever you are. We're about to jump right into it here on twitch.tv, youtube.com. High risk, high reward, high on life, or whatever simulation, simulacrum, simultaneous, spontaneous singularity of consciousness. This is, was, or will be sometime in the distant cyber future. Yeah, we're just gonna, I'm Happy New Year to you too, Sisyphean. It is now 2068. I think I told you it was gonna be 2069. It's just a weird thing. Like, right, and this is why you shouldn't trust AI. I think it's AI anyway. You know, the thing that pops up at the top of, like when you do a Google, search, right? And it, like, you know, you search out something like, what year is it in, you know, Thai years, right? Because it's a different calendar. What? What did I do? Oh, I get it. I know what I did. Oh my god, there we go. That's better. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess this is what 30 FPS does. Yeah, the AI Google blurb, I asked it a day before Songkran, which was on Sunday. I asked it, you know, what year it was in Thai, and it said 2068. So I'm like, okay, cool. It is not the new year yet. So if I'm being told it's 2068, then that must mean that in the new year it's going to be 2069. Let me just make sure. Let me make sure I know what the freak I'm talking about. What year? $2068. Okay, yeah. So it went from 2067. Wait, BE? What does BE mean? Yeah, see, now this is where freaking AI would come in handy. Like, tell me what the, you know, like, explain that. What is BE? BE. Island. Here. What does BE mean? A Buddhist era. Okay. So, yeah, it's like CE, Common Era or Christian Era. It's Common Era. You know, it's so weird. It's so weird because, like, when I've done, I think I took like a, is it like an anthropology course or something? On the Bible. Yeah, I know, right? And, you know, it was like a history class. You know, it's like, and there was this whole distinction, you know, like AD, BC. Instead, they used CE and BC, I think, right? So that, yeah, BCE, before Common Era, and CE, Common Era. Right, that's the official demarcation. That's the demarcation if you don't want to orient everything that you do around a like Christianity-centric point of view. Because I mean, like AD, BC, that's what that is. It's like everything is, you know, before Christ or after Christ, right? There was an attempt, at least historically, to use terminology that is just a little bit more neutral, I guess. You know, that's not like, you know, it's like trying to include everybody in history instead of being like, no, it's all about Christianity. But yeah, in Thailand it's BE, that is Buddhist era. And so yeah, in the same way that CE kind of corresponds with the time of Jesus, I think BE must correspond with the time of Gautama Buddha? I don't know, chat. I'm more confused than I started out. Immensely curious about what is going on in Southeast Asia in the BCE. What would have been going on in the BCE era? That empanada is the Buddha. Oh no, I can't say, I gotta be careful, chat. I don't want to say anything illegal. And people do take their religion very seriously in this country. I'm not trying to add insult to anything by comparing bad empanada to any sort of historical or religious figures. It's an insensitive joke. No, you're fine to say it. I'm the one who's gonna get in trouble for it. A BE is Australian Greek YouTuber creator. No, just kidding. It's the Buddhist era. Yeah, we gotta get him to change his mind. But yeah, we're here. I got kitted out yesterday, chat, for Songkran. That means you know, having glass protectors, really, right? Because I've got glasses, so I gotta have these, like, I can't have the cool ones. I gotta have the chemistry ones, right? Which is fine with me. And as you can see, it's kind of like, look, it got kind of fucked up, right? Because I got sprayed so hard in so many ways from so many different directions. I got sprayed from trucks. I got sprayed off of stages. I got sprayed with hoses. I got water dumped down my back, on which I was wearing my backpack. It was like the one thing that I thought, hey, here's the thing, right? People will shoot me, but they'll shoot me in the front, right? They'll shoot, you know, toward, so the backpack is going to be safe. No. No, for some reason there's a, like, I don't know if it's specifically if you have a backpack or if the idea is, no, you got to get totally wet, right? But even asking, yeah, no, spray me on the front, and somebody comes around and, like, boom, down the back. So yeah, my backpack got wet. I think the next time I go out, I am just gonna take my phone. In fact, I got a selfie stick, and I was thinking about taking chat with me. I was in your thoughts. Glad you had some glasses protection. Yeah. Where am I? The water. Oh, the water between your backpack and skin would drive you crazy. Well, yeah, the whole thing was, though, I just didn't, like, I don't know. I need, like, a waterproof backpack or something. I'm in, you got the right country, Renato. But we can't be too specific, can we? Especially, like, so here's the deal, chat. We've got a bunch of bonus content, as always. I'm sorry, I'm just starting the stream in a confused way because I had to switch things at the last minute and always sets me off. Sounds really fun, though? Oh, it is. It is very fun. It is extremely fun. It's almost so fun that you don't care that your wallet, your passport, and might be getting completely soaked, right? And your phone. Well, the phone was protected. I got a phone protector. Like, so here was the thing. Here's the thing. I went to see an apartment yesterday, and it looked like the exact apartment I want. Like, right, this apartment has a shot that's really good, right? It has a like I could make such a good shot for the background, right? The place that I would you know, have the camera, it like there's like a window into the bedroom. Sliding glass doors into the bedroom that look really cool, and it would especially look cool if I shine some lights through them, right? So we would have the coolest fucking backing shot in the fucking world, right? And I was all ready to go over and just tell this dude, you know what? I want to be out of this hotel. I want to be into an apartment, and you know, you're my dude. Let me go with your offer. The problem was that this guy, you know, I went over to see the apartment, and it's nothing special. It really is not, like, compared to other stuff, compared to other, I've been like, I don't know, chat, I'm a nerd, okay? I can't just do like the minimal and just be like, okay, there's an apartment, there's an amount of money that's like, you know, half of what I was paying for rent in the United States. Let me just go with it, right? I gotta look at all the apartments, and I gotta see what the going rate is. And then when somebody shows me an apartment, I'm comparing it to other apartments that are similar, like other apartments that are, like, you know, of equal value. And this one did not compare. Like, by the value of what people are charging, like on YouTube, on Facebook Marketplace. Was I able to take my back screen with? No, but it is in storage, Steven. So unlike 90% of my stuff, it did not just get thrown away. It still exists, and I've got somebody who is gonna do their best to try to come out and get it and send it to me. I don't know if that's gonna work, but yeah, like, what I had was even better than my backing screen. I'm a nerd. I don't say, well, yeah, I don't know, I just get obsessed with things, like, right? So my friend, like, comes over here, and he just meets some dude that is like, oh yeah, I'm an agent for apartments, right? You know, I will look around, you know, based on your needs, and I will, you know, put you together with the apartment that is best for you, right? And it sounds like a very good offer. It sounds like a very good deal, and this is a very nice person, very friendly and such, and you know, my friend speaks even less Thai than I do, so, you know, for him to find somebody that can communicate, you know, at a high level, was like amazing. And he was just like, okay, here, what apartment have you got for me? What's the rent? And he paid it. He paid it, chat. And I swear to God, like, he's paying as much for an apartment in Thailand as I was paying in the United States. And that's just not right. That's just not right. I don't know, chat. I can't let somebody, like, you know, like, look, I understand that I'm not Thai and that I am naturally gonna get charged a higher rate, okay? And I'm okay with that. I'm even okay with somebody who helps me find a place, you know, I don't know, taking a little commission. Maybe that makes things more expensive for me. That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. Right? But there's a fucking limit to it, right? And a 33% surcharge is beyond that limit, right? In other words, if you're paying, I don't know, chat, I would say as much as double of what an apartment is worth, it's just not, it's not, you know what's really bad? Okay, here's why it's really bad, all right? On top of everything else, on top of the fact that, you know, I am a, you know, I don't have a lot of money. I you know, do YouTube, right? That doesn't lend itself towards, like, the big bucks, at least not at this level. On top of my own personal needs, right? The more Americans that come to a country with a lower cost of living and that pay above market rates for apartments, do you understand what I'm saying, chat? By agreeing to a bad deal, yeah, by agreeing to that 33% white people surcharge, as you say, Charles. I don't think it's about whiteness, though. But, you know, it's about, you know, are you Thai or are you Farang, right? Which I learned about the history of the word Farang. To me, it just sounds like a borrowed English word for foreign. It's actually not. It wasn't borrowed from English. It was borrowed from India. And it was borrowed from India because that's how Indian people referred to Frankish people, right? Farangi or something like that was the word for Frankish, right? For if you're a Frank. And those were the people that were coming over and visiting Thailand first, right? So, you know, Thai people were like, asking, Indian people in the area, there's a lot of interchange between Thailand and India in terms of culture and everything, and in terms of people. And so, there were Indian people living in Thailand, and the Thai people are like, hey, who are these people that are coming over, right? What are they called, right? And the word was Farangi in India. And so in Thailand, it just got adopted as Farang, meaning Frankish, right? It doesn't mean foreign. It's not a borrowing from English, but anyway. So yeah, what I'm talking about, right, is that as much as it might seem nice to, financially benefit an individual Thai person, I gotta recognize that this is not, this is a very well-off Thai person that I'm dealing with here. A very well-traveled, well-off Thai person compared to the average, worker that maybe delivers food for lineman or Grab or whatever kind of jobs people have, right? This is somebody who's already doing okay, right? And also, if I pay the more people like me pay exorbitant rent, the higher rent goes for Thai people who don't get paid that much, right? So that's part of how, I don't know if you want to call it, it's not exactly the same thing as, Portuguese are not happy with the influx of American digital nomads these few years. Well, yeah, Mexico City got fucked up too, Sisyphean. And it's particularly because, Americans and whoever else, they come into Mexico City and somebody, they're like, let me find an apartment. And somebody's like, oh, I got an apartment for you. It's right over here, right? And like, when they're, like, how much does it cost? There's kind of a knowledge that there's an expectation of rent being more than, from an American, there's an expectation of rent being more than it is in Mexico City. So if you're this person, if you're like an agent or if you're a landlord in Mexico City, you could probably tell an American that rent is like more than it really is. And they'll just be like, okay, that's way cheaper than it is back in LA. That's way cheaper than it is in Portland. That's way cheaper than it is in New York City, right? That's a deal. Let me go with that, right? And the more people that come in and they pay like exorbitant rent, there's pressure on the overall rent situation. And Mexico City, I think, has had to make laws about this. I think they've, do I have a Thai friend? Well, I met a Thai person yesterday who I was friendly with. But no, I wouldn't call, somebody that, I have like a strictly business relationship with a friend necessarily. So that's what I'm saying. Does that make sense, chat? That's why anti-capitalism is an international project. Yeah, and I recognize that, like, there's questions about the effect of moving, to a place like Thailand in general and its effect. But I know that the worst thing I can do in terms of its impact on the Thai people is to help drive the rent up, right? So it's kind of worth it to... Wait, worth a try? What's that worth a try? Don't be sorry. Not too bad. Yeah. So Narwhal by Nature says, Shakespeare says that rent for a 3 to 4 bathroom apartment in Mexico City is still $600 to $800 US. Yeah, you could probably find similar or cheaper offers here, but the whole thing is you just gotta you gotta inform yourself on what the actual cost of rent is, and recognize that if you agree to something that is outside of that, you agree to something that's over that, you're not like helping out the person that's making a fat profit on you, right? You're actually hurting people that are already having trouble affording things. And Mexico City is like, it sounds like the government is doing stuff to you know, is doing stuff to curtail the effect of digital nomads and people moving into Mexico City from other countries on rent. Can I become a matchmaker and get us Americans over to Thailand? Just kidding, unless it was worth asking you if you had made had a Thai friend to help with interviews for rentals. No, I kind of got out of the country as quickly as I can. Are you trying to stay there long term? Decently long term. I don't know for sure. I mean, I still gotta feel it out. I gotta, you know... Thirsty! Oh, water. Oh yeah, and chat, I finally solved the problem of water, alright? I was having a problem because all the water that I've gotten, or at least the two first brands of water that I found here, they're they're in violation of BDS, right? So, but I finally found this brand, Zinga, that is not owned by Coke or Pepsi, and as far as I can tell, is not connected to anything on the BDS side. But yeah, I'm gonna try to take this one step at a time. And you know, do like I don't know, I'm gonna be doing a visa that's based on studying Muay Thai, or possibly that's based on studying the Thai language. But yeah, play something. I know exactly what you're talking about Americans that want to leave the country. I was one as well. I thought that it would never happen. When I was covering the election, I sort of knew that I had to get out of America. Like, right as it became more and more clear that Donald Trump was going to get elected, I was like, this is really bad. I don't want to stay in this country. But, you know, it's just kind of like the way that America fucks you over, you know, in terms of just getting eaten up by costs and stuff. You're not making a lot of money. And just every month I was paying nearly all of my money for rent. And then a little bit of money for food and the rest of the stuff that I need, right? And every month I'm like left with $0, right? So it was only because a friend of mine was moving to Thailand too and also wanted to do YouTube and frankly needed some good advice from somebody who knows YouTube, that I was able to kind of get into this situation where at least my rent for the, you know, first month was covered, and that's the only thing that allowed me to actually get over here, because financially it was almost impossible. And I still kind of fucked up, right? Like I own so much shit that got thrown in the trash because there's no, what else am I gonna do, right? You know, if I'm gonna get over here, I gotta you know, get all of my stuff down to 3 suitcases, and holy shit, I owned a lot more than 3 suitcases, right? And there's stuff that I really need, that I really want, that I would have loved to have over here that I just was not able to take. So chat, I don't want to underestimate it. It's very difficult to make this happen. But I kind of just got a fire lit under me to do this, and I did it. I was in China during the election, and I low-key wanted to just cancel the return flight and stay. You know, Charlie Kelly, like, China's looking good now. I don't know. What do you think, chat? China's looking really good. The United States... I talked to my sister yesterday, and she was... like, you know, I finally told her that I had moved over here and, you know, I wasn't planning on coming back. And she was like, okay, well, I just hope that you're not... Yeah, Mexico City, that's what I'm talking about, Shaxba. Yeah, rent control. That was so important given the pressure. I was just explaining to people that, you know, digital nomads and the like, moving into a place and spending and overpaying for rent was actually driving rents up in places like Mexico City. And so my own situation, I got to look at an apartment yesterday that was pretty good. I mean, it was pretty decent. I don't know, it wasn't anything special, right? But you know, it was an apartment that I could have moved right into. It's already got internet. Like, there's a lot. The backing shot was really good, and the only thing that wasn't good is that if I'm paying like 133% of what the market costs, really closer to 50%. Like, if I'm being real. Right, the market, and look, like I said, I know that like there's gonna be, you know, the prices I'm gonna get quoted are gonna be different than those that a Thai person gets quoted. I'm a digital nomad technically, but I don't use that term. I can understand YS Project. A lot of digital nomads have kind of given a bad name to that term. I would have moved back more permanently if I didn't have to give up my Chinese citizenship. I had to find someone to marry for residence. Oh, geez. That's one way to get residency, I guess. China just announced Hong Kong will spend postal relations with the U.S. What does that mean, Mark Gold? What are the implications of that, I wonder? But yeah, congratulations, Mexico City. Doing right by its people, at least putting something in place to try to get a control of the escalating rents. And I just like, look, I know that, like, you know, in some ways moving to, you know, a country like this, right, there's going to be some negative impacts that I have, right? And I'm trying to do my best to keep those to a minimum. And so, yeah, like, you know, overpaying an absurd amount for rent is not just something that's bad for me. So, Sawadika, Shakespeare, and Kapmunka as well. What are we doing here? We're adding this to Ethan. Wait. Oh yeah, this is the new, so yeah, I should probably explain, what's going on with the bonus goal today. So yeah, we're at 3% right now on the bonus goal. That is a goal of 100%. If we get to 100%, we'll get to do some extra stuff, right? We'll get to cover one extra segment, right? We're gonna cover the, oh my god, I can't remember the name of, the good video. So we got a good video essayist and a bad video essayist. So we're going to cover both of their video essays. These are video essays about Ethan Klein and his relationship to the overarching Israel, you know, what's going on in Gaza, and, you know, specifically the Noah Samsen video and the conflict with Hasan. And so we got a good video essayist, and we got a bad video essayist, and we're going to learn something from the good video essayist, and we're going to cringe at the bad video essayist. The bad video essayist, you may already know, named Birth by Sleep. No, not Birth by Sleep. No, is named Think Before You Sleep. I'm sorry, I had to get the Kingdom Hearts reference in there. Oh my god, chat, I got my Wayfinder here. That was one thing I did. Yeah, I brought all the little, like, I brought Waluigi, and I brought all these little trinkets and stuff, but yeah, there's some things I did not, or most of my stuff I had to leave behind, and it just got trashed. I mean, if I had planned ahead, I might have been able to give away and sell more stuff, get a share with a local, and save some money. That's not a bad idea. I wouldn't mind having roommates, actually. If a country offers me a livable wage in healthcare, I'll volunteer and love doing it. America just doesn't leave me with the kind of time and energy. Yeah, I know the feeling. Oh, oral ellipsis with the member chat. I forgot I could send these things. Well, yeah, you can. And thank you for being a member, oral ellipsis. No, I actually, it's funny. Okay, of all the things you could have said, right? You're like, wait, I've got this cool ability to say anything I want on a member chat, and you end up saying, hey, I forgot I could send these things. No, it's awesome. What's up, Brixton? So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Let's see, where are we at? So yeah, like I said, the bonus goal is, oh my gosh, I can't even see what's happening on Twitch, but somebody just followed me. Thank you for the follow, person. I can just see the... Yeah, I'm trying to remember how this works again. I think it's like 13. So yeah, we're at 13 out of 100. If we get to 100, we'll cover one of these extra topics. Let me go over the topics really quick. These are the topics that if you're in YouTube chat right now, you're voting on, and we got a pretty close election right now as far as these topics go. All right. So on YouTube right now, no comment check on YouTube, right? We got 66 of you having voted already. Most of you are voting for the new North Star Radio video. That is Ethan Klein versus freedom of speech. New video from North Star Radio. Oh, now it's tied. So it's tied between North Star Radio and Teddy Fresh gets tariffed. Yeah, that's right. They got hit with tariffs, apparently. Teddy Fresh may not be able to operate under the new Trump tariff regime, and we could take a look at that. That was on H3 the other day. We got 4chan was hacked. By who? I don't know. Oh no, chat. Let me make sure. What? Okay, this is okay. Actually, this is kind of good. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Seriously, she made it? Yeah, I made it. I'm saying, that's what I was telling you. Okay, so yeah, I got cut off in the middle of, I got distracted. Am I in hiding? Oh my god. That's what my sister asked, Rixton. That's what my sister asked, right? She, like, when I told her, like, I was just trying not to be real specific about it, right? Because the last thing I want to do is, like, draw her into some issue where, you know, her freedom of speech or my freedom of speech ends up and we're back. Hotel Wi-Fi. Massive apologies, everyone. Wait, you can be in Canada for a brief period while looking for work? But anyway, yeah, so I'm explaining to my sister, you know, she's like, when I explained to her, I you know, have left, I'm in Thailand, and I'm not coming back to the US, right? She starts to get worried, right? She's like, well, I hope that, you know, you're safe and, you know, nothing too dire happened. And I had to kind of throw it back on her and say, like, no, I'm actually worried about you, right? I am safe. I am 100% safer than I was before I left. And I'm worried about you and mom and dad, you know? But I don't know. I didn't want to say too much. Teddy Fresh going under due to tariffs. Oh no, someone help. Go to the big market in Bangkok. I'll have to check that out, Rixton. Ethan is so wrong about tariffs. You know, we covered that, or else ellipsis. We covered Ethan's terrible take on tariffs. But I feel like I didn't get to the part where he really like his work. Like, look, we got the bad business advice, right? Ethan was just basically like giving the standard rich people investment advice, which is buy the dip. Did the market go down? Buy more. Everything's cheap now, right? That's how you win in the long term, according to the rich person logic of Ethan Klein. Yeah, if you've got unlimited money, you know, then in general, like, you know, owning more, S&P 500 stocks is going to have a, it's long term gonna be a good thing. If you've got money that you can just sink into the market, right, and not need for 10 to 15 years, then yeah, you're gonna make more money. But like, what he's not getting is that this is not a normal dip. This is not a normal dip. Can we say that? Right? Like, look, there was some chance that the United States was going to go into a recession coming out of COVID, I shouldn't say coming out of COVID because it's still very much with us, but coming out of the lockdown, right? There was some chance that there was going to be a recession. It kind of looked like the United States at least dodged that recession for a while. And then Trump. And these tariffs, and not just the tariffs, but the uncertainty of like the tariffs are on, the tariffs are off, the tariffs are on with exceptions. No, there's no exceptions, right? He's just like, he's overcorrecting. He's a bad driver. You've got the car that is the United States of America, and it is being driven by the most anxious 14-year-old you can imagine. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember being 14 years old, Chad, and learning to drive? And you're in there with your parent, and your parent's like watching you, and they're nervous and stuff, and they're like, all right, so now that's the line for the shoulder. Don't go on that line. Yep, bring it back over here to the center. Oh, now you're across the center line. That's really dangerous here. Bring it back over. And every time you like want to overcorrect, right? That's what Trump is doing, and it's really bad. It's really fucking bad. So in other words, we're living through what is looking like not just a recession, but a recession based on the sheer incompetence and hubris and unqualified nature of the administration in charge. Hiring people like Peter Navarro will get you these kind of results. This is not a downturn, in other words, that is a natural, like capitalism has crises. It's built into the system. It's baked in, and it's very good for capitalists because, like I said, like about Ethan Klein, they buy the dip. Or when when the economy goes bad, they buy up the businesses that cannot make it through the recession, right? That these the roller coaster nature of capitalism is harmful to the working class. It makes it hard to survive, but it's actually helpful and beneficial to the capitalist class. It's very much a good thing. But this is not that. This is not a normal downturn. And this, like with a downturn, you always make the assumption of like, okay, the economy's going down now, but it's gonna come back up later. Because if we look at these other recessions, if we look at these other downturns, it always has. That's not an assumption that you can make. Ethan is giving bad advice, but yeah, his take on tariffs was even worse, and I don't even think we got to that. I don't even think we got to Ethan's like misunderstanding of the whole concept. It's just like he's ignorant and he's unqualified to be speaking on things that he wants to speak on because he wants you to think that he's really smart, but he's not. And look, chat, that's not a bad thing. I don't say that in an ableist way or an elitist way of like, I'm smart and Ethan's not, or, you're bad if you're not smart. All right. There's a lot of us that are ignorant about a lot of things, including myself. Right. But I try to have some humility about what I don't know. Both, to not be an arrogant asshole, to not be like full of myself, right? To not be, full of hot air, right? And, for my own benefit, right? Because the beginning of wisdom is understanding the limits of your knowledge, understanding, what you do understand, and especially what you don't understand. That's the key. Norman Finkelstein never learned how to drive. Why does that not surprise me, Shakespeare? Smart snobbery is okay. I don't know. Look, I've had smoke blown up my ass my whole life from, like, standardized tests that I've taken and stuff that place me in the, whatever percentile. And it hasn't put me in a place where I am, ahead of 99.9% of the, of people, right? It doesn't mean that I'm, like, in the 99.9% of like, success, and frankly, those tests really only measure like one aspect of what, like, if you want to talk about intelligence, you got to realize it's a many splendored thing. There's many different kinds of intelligence. There's many different subject matters, and being good at one thing does not mean that you're going to be good at others. Ben Carson, a perfect example, former presidential candidate Ben Carson, who is a brain surgeon and just had said some really ignorant things on the campaign trail. So anyway, chat, that's what's going on with me. Oh yeah, I'm right in the middle of trying to tell you about the bonus content, right? So we're at 13%. If we get to 100%, then we get extra. We get an extra topic, right? The topics are the new North Star Radio video, the Teddy Fresh getting tariffed, you know, the Ethan Klein, Ela Klein freak out about Teddy Fresh and the effects of the new tariff regime on it. We have 4chan getting hacked, which I don't know that much about it. It sounds like it might be by users of another website that's similar to 4chan. I can't tell. I don't think it's necessarily been hacked by anybody good, but we do have some leaks, I guess, of some kind of communication. But yeah, the website got taken down, and apparently admin, you know, like they got into the admin account, the admin of 4chan, like the hackers control that account, I guess. So anyway, we also have a new video about Ben Piker from a budding young video essayist. Excuse me, video essayist, right? Ben Carson has brainworms. Ironically, taxes should just follow the tithe system. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah, a car in New York City and a lot of cities is a, well, I don't know. It's, I say that as I say that, Renato, I wanna recognize that a lot of people, a lot of workers are one paycheck away or one disaster away from losing their housing. And so, you know, while, you know, parking, registering, insuring, etc., a car in a place like New York City, or I'm not sure if you're saying New York City or New York State, but while that is a burden, some people, you know, are kept from being exposed to the elements by virtue of their owning a car alone. So I don't want to forget that. U.S. government's gonna start talking like the Australian government. It's trickle-down economics. I mean, that wouldn't be anything that new. Check out 404 Media's work on this if you get that bonus content, the 4chan thing.
Omega Star, super chatted $5. Put it all on Senk. Also, hi Weasels.
Hi Weasels. Hi Weasels. Hi Jellyfish. Hi Twitch. Hi YouTube. Welcome to today. So yeah, that's 5% for the new. Oh, and also thank you Shakespeare and Omega Star and or else Ellipsis for helping me show how this bonus content thing works, right? So like I said, there's a poll over on YouTube, right, that you can participate in. Make your voice heard, right? If you are watching me on Twitch, feel free to come over to nocommentchick on YouTube and feel free to vote for the content that is most appealing to you. You can make your voice heard. You can also leave me a like while you're there, which I appreciate so much, and it helps me out greatly. So the other thing is that we've got this bonus goal right here that just went up to 18%, 18 out of 100. If we get to 100, we'll do some extra content. What content will we do? The content that is winning in the poll, but just understand also that the poll is going to be affected by your donation. So in other words, when you donate, not only does number go up, right? Which is what we need if we want to get bonus content. But you get the ability to do what Omega Star just did, and add your donation to the topic of your choice. So Omega Star just said, the new Jink Uyghur video, please, and that adds 5% to the score of the Jink Uyghur video essay. And chat, if we do that one, like I said, that's a fairly new account, like a fairly new YouTuber. And so I'm gonna make sure that we don't, that we only have positive impact. If we end up choosing the Jink video, I'm gonna make sure that we only have positive effects on that. So I will ask you to go over there and subscribe, and I need you to do that, right? If we end up choosing that one, right, we're gonna make sure that, you know, and also watch the video if it comes up in your timeline. I don't want to, you know, I don't want people to have watched the video with me and therefore not watch it when it comes across, because we want to have good impacts on. I sometimes veer away from watching a video from a smaller creator, and that is because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to negatively impact a smaller creator's views. However, this is somebody that is, you know, really small and could honestly, it looks like, use some more followers on YouTube, some more subscribers on YouTube. So yeah, if we pick that, we'll make sure that we are sending help, sending as much help, clout, luck, and love as we possibly can. NYC has great public transport. Oh, that's true. Well, yeah. So that, I mean, yeah, you're right about that, Renato. You're right that, yeah, places with good public transit make a car somewhat redundant, but also New York City has incredibly high rent, and when people get thrown out on their ass, sometimes a car is their only means of salvation. So I don't want like to get that to get buried, but you speak true words, Renato. You speak true wise words. It's a rabbit hole I've documented for 5 years. You know, the US really doesn't care. Wait, what is YS talking about? Here, like, I should be looking at chat in the better window. The better window. Yeah, we almost had really good video today too, chat. I got a little problem with my frame rate, I guess. If I see a video on a stream and it was good, I'll put it on when I go to bed. That's so great, Joshua Keller. You are awesome. You are awesome. Just like the, you know, small content creators out there, we really need to do our best to help out. So. Wait, do I have... Oh my god, I might be able to shout out Patreon. Let's see if it'll work. Huh? Can we do it? We can do it. Whoops. Can we do it? I do. I just fucked everything up. Try re. Oh my god, I fucked everything up. Chat, I was all ready to do this too. God damn it. Try this. Yes, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, I have not done this in a long time, alright? but I have a Patreon, and I greatly appreciate those of you who support me on that Patreon. Everybody on the Patreon gets access to my videos when they come out, before they come out. That's like everybody at every level. At the $5 level and above, you also get a fancy shout out. So let me do those shouts out now. Shouts out to Oral Ellipsis, shouts out to Temporal Insanity, shouts out to Steven Sayers, shouts out to Funky Monkey, shouts out to Shakespeare, shouts out to Sarah, shouts out to Nadia Yvette, shouts out to Moe Noe, shouts out to Crystal Saphira, shouts out to Jules K, shouts out to Jessica Bell, shouts out to Izzy Mandia, shouts out to Infallible Fowl, shouts out to Hot Ram Radio, shouts out to Good for Gabby, shouts out to Buffy Geek, shouts out to Animus, and a fancy shout out to Zerix, to Rachel K, and to Omega Star. There we go. We haven't done that in way too long. And I finally got logged into my Patreon, so I'm able to do that again. Wanted to give a shout out that we haven't been able to do while I've been in Thailand. So there we go. Oh, Jay Aubrey does put out some good stuff. Jay Aubrey has a fantastic editor. Oh god, yeah, Jay Aubrey's videos are top notch for sure. Wait, what was, oh, it was not muted? Actually subscribe to people like Noah and Jay Aubrey because I liked their videos on Hasan. Nice. Okay, that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. We don't want to be content leeches. We don't want to be slopmeisters. We want to help out video when we watch a good video by a good creator. We want to help them out, not steal views. So. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. We are 82% of the way from the bonus goal. If we get to that bonus goal, we'll cover this extra content. You can also you can vote for the content on YouTube. You can also, you know, let me know when you donate whether that. So the things that make the bonus goal go forward is super chats, super stickers. If you get yourself a membership, or if you gift memberships, which is great because it gives people weasels. You know what I mean? It gives them the ability to post emotes, which is awesome to see weasels in chat. And the more people that we have with memberships, the more weasels that you will see in chat. So if you want to like increase the weasel population, then gifting memberships on YouTube is a great way to do that, right? And also drives our bonus goal forward. If you support me on Throne or PayPal or any of that stuff, or if you become a Patreon, right? Let me know in chat because I can't see that one. You'll have to let me know. But you know, that makes the bonus goal go forward as well, and especially on Twitch, right? I appreciate greatly those of you who support me on Twitch because they've demonetized us. We don't make any money at all off of Twitch, except for from the subs and the bits from viewers like you. So thank you, all of those who do support us over on Twitch as well. Remember, when you do donate, you can let me know in the chat which one of these topics right here is giving you life, which one of these topics sparks your joy, and I will add your donation as a percentage to that topic. It'll become a bonus. It'll become a bonus for the poll, and it'll possibly maybe put your favorite topic over the line and allow it to be selected, right? Like I said, if we get to 100%, we do one of these topics. Now, usually what I do is that if we get to 200%, we do 2 of these topics. I want to offer something special, chat, for Songkran. All right? I don't know how difficult this would be, but like I said, chat, I am kitted the fuck up for Songkran, okay? I am kitted up. Kitted out? Is that the, what's the phrase? Is it kitted up or kitted out? Somebody who plays video games will know this. But yeah, I've also got now a selfie stick, and I've got a case for my phone that will prevent it. It might make the video a little weird, but it'll prevent the phone from getting wet, right? I'm thinking about, like, if we hit the 200%, taking you with me to Songkran, all right? Does that sound like something that would be fun? I don't know if it does. If we can get to 200%, I will bring you along because I kind of want to show. Is it kitted out? It's kitted out. Okay, thank you. It's not kitted up. Why do I want to make it kitted up? It's kitted out. Kitted out. You're right. It's kitted out. I'm so silly, chat. You know that when I was dealing with Dylan Burns and his whole thing, his whole meta as far as political streaming is that it needs to be more like wrestling because wrestling is exciting. And he thought that that's why politics was like losing out to video games on Twitch, is it should be more like wrestling. So he would always talk about things like kayfabe, and like me not really knowing much about it, I was like, oh yeah, kayfabe. He made fun of me mercilessly for that. Playing some live PUBG in Thailand. Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, you understand. It's not a water fight where you're trying to win, right? If there's a kid, you let them get you. You know, like. You kind of just like feel it out, right? You know, it's not like a competition. It's just fun. But I like to think of it more like Splatoon, right? Are you a kid? Are you a squid? We're gonna find out. Kayfab, yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like it should be Kayfab. I really do. Like, I feel like, you know, if it's really, like, good kayfabe, it should be fabulous. And maybe that's what Dylan's content was missing. Just an idea, Dylan. Could have been a little bit more fabulous with your kayfabe. I don't know. Maybe you should have embraced the kayfab while you had the chance. Now it's gone. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's the goal. We got the main goal for extra content, and we got the super soaker goal for the serious content. Like, I don't know, chat. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I am not a IRL streamer. I am not a Songkran streamer. I am not a water gun streamer. But I kind of wanted to bring you with me because I had so much fun, and I feel like it would be even more fun with a selfie stick. You are a test tube, and Irene is your scientist? Oh, that's what it feels. Yeah, well, actually, I think you're right. These are chemistry glasses, right? And I got them because they go over regular glasses. There's another cooler form of the Songkran glasses that's just like colorful, you know, glasses, but they don't have room for your glasses underneath. Kayfabe is Pig Latin, of Pig Latin. Oh yeah, fake. Wait, what is it? Fake. Be fake. Yeah, it's Pig Latin for be fake, right? But then it got messed up or something. I don't know. That's what I heard. It's supposed to be fake. Embrace the fabulousness. So yeah, chat, we can embrace the fabulousness today at Songkran, out on the streets, with a water gun if we hit that 200. If not, I'll probably go out and you know, maybe make a recording or something like that, because I'm gonna go have some more fun today. I really do need to get into an apartment, but oh my god, this festival is so fun. Anyway, you know what else is fun? Doing the content that we're here to do. We got 2 video essays, one about Noah Samsen and one about Ethan Klein. The question I have, chat, do you want the good video essay first, or do you want the bad video essay? Right? We got one just ignorant as fuck video essay that's fun to dunk on. That's the bad one. And we got one video essay that's actually pretty good, and that's by somebody who knows a lot about just how wrong Ethan Klein is. Somebody who studied, you know, studied all the things that Ethan Klein does not understand. So, what sounds good, chat? You want to go with good first, or do you want to go with bad first? Or do you, or should I just take you out on the street and like we should? The thing about this though, oh God, how does this work? Would I have to choose between Twitch or YouTube? I think I would. I think I'd have to do a Twitch stream and then a YouTube stream if I wanted to cover Twitch and YouTube. Wait, let me just wait. I just wonder if I oh, you see that? Ah. Yeah. Chris's video is really. I haven't watched it. I thought it would be a good day. Something else is going on. To watch a good video and a bad video. Which do you want to watch first? Dark Side of the Ring is full of nuggets of information that I'm sure Vince McMahon would prefer to stay secret. God, Vince McMahon. Like, it just gets worse and worse. Like, if you know the stuff that's not even involved in the court case around Vince McMahon, it's bad, right? If you know about the true, like, rise to power of Vince McMahon, how he kind of inherited the business from his father and then sort of stole the business from his father. You know, how predatory he was towards other wrestling leagues, how much he is responsible for the failure and the disappearance of those, you know, other, you know, wrestling circuits. And, you know, in terms of his suppression of unionization, which, you know, wrestlers seem to really need, considering how badly you get hurt doing wrestling, even though it is be fake, even though it is, you know, not real in that sense. Like, wrestlers really do get hurt, and they don't have, they got a rotten deal. They're doing a lot of content, they're making a lot of money for people like Vince, and they're not really getting, you know, much of the reward for it. So yeah, there was an effort to unionize WWE, and Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan made sure that didn't happen. But yeah, even the stuff before the case against Vince McMahon is really bad. And then if you know about the case against Vince McMahon, it is fucking demonic shit that he did. He turned WWF, WWE into a worldwide monopoly. Yeah. Yeah, people are dead because of Vince McMahon? Wait, murders were covered up by him? Is that about Vince? He's an evil genius, sadly. Well, yeah, and he's actually, if you look at what Trump's doing, a lot of Trump's playbook comes from WWE. Jesse Ventura spoke on this, true. Very athletic, aggressive, physical acting, yeah. Owen Hart, yeah, died because Owen Hart, wait, that's Bret Hart's brother, right? Didn't Bret Hart get fucked over too? Like, that's the Montreal screw job, right? Was Bret Hart getting fucked over? But anyway, chat, I need a consensus. Do we want to watch the good? I'm seeing that people want to watch the good one first. Do we watch the good video? Is that the consensus? I'm asking you, good or bad, right? Which video essay do you want to watch first? Trump is a theater kid at heart. Owen Hart is dead because of negligence. Countless others have died from not having healthcare. Yeah, that's why the suppression of the unionization effort is even more terrible. Oh god, that's right. Madam Vince McMahon's ex-wife, right, is the chief of the Department of Education, and while they try to destroy it. Oh, wait, people are saying bad. One for good, 3 for bad. Good, 2 for good, 3 for good, 4 for bad, 5 for bad. No, I'm double counting some people. Oh my gosh, it's like tied. We got like 5 for bad, 5 for good. Can we get a tiebreaker? They don't give wrestlers healthcare. Shakespeare, that's a great example of the kind of negative externality that capitalism is always trying to displace somewhere else. In this case, on its employees, on the people that create the value, that create the entertainment, and that put their bodies at risk. One extra for bad. Okay, so bad's ahead by 1. We're gonna do the bad first. We got bad's ahead by 2. Bad's ahead by 3. Okay, we're doing bad. We're gonna do the bad. Are you ready to be evil, chat? Are you ready to get evil with me? Do the evil one first. Oh, I'm gonna fix my setup here first and foremost. There we go. Find the bad channel. There it is. Let's get started. Get started with the side of evil. Alright. What's more evil than this fucker, right? We've talked about this person before. This is think before you sleep. Big incel energy, first of all. Huge incel energy, bad at the craft of video making in much the same way as What If Alt Hist. Oh geez, so they put out another video in the last 20 hours, right? Got the Noah Samsen video. So this we've watched this channel before, and it was during the wait, was it Lady Emily? No, it wasn't Lady Emily, it was somebody else. Can't remember the content creator. I'll just scroll down and I'll find it. Illumation, yeah, it was the Illumation scandal. Now, what was the scandal? Illumation made a video about, you know, accepting yourself and accepting your body regardless of its size and proportions, right? That, you know, after a lot of struggles to try to control her, you know, weight and image, that, you know, Illumation had kind of come to the conclusion that you got to start from a place of accepting yourself, and that's, you know, the healthiest way to be. And this got, you know, a 1.1 million view video made about Illumation, and then a whole ass fucking controversy happened in the way. Look at this guy, got 2 million views off of Illumation. Oh my god, almost, yeah, 3 million views. 3 million, chat, 3 million views, this fucking slop tuber. This slop tuber, god. From the fact that somebody was like, hey, maybe we should, like, you should accept yourself. And reframed it as like, oh, so you're saying that people should be obese. You're saying that people shouldn't try to eat healthy. You're saying that people shouldn't exercise. And it was like, no, Illumation didn't say any of that shit. In fact, in a lot of cases, Illumation said the opposite. So anyway, this person's gone after Illumation. That was the last time oh yeah, and that's where Noah Samsen, I think, got involved. Noah Samsen did a video back at Sleep Before, Think Before You Sleep, and then it went back and forth. So anyway, that's who this is. That's where you might remember them from. This current video is about Noah Samsen and his video on Ethan Klein. So let's get started. I have edged you long enough. And remember, chat, 100 points on the bonus goal, and we cover an extra segment, 200 points, and I take you with me. I find a way to take you with me to Songkran, and I'll do a Twitch stream and a YouTube stream out there, right? Cover both bases. That's what we're doing. day. All right, so let's get started.
On YouTube for the past few years, there's a big industry that's exploded in popularity, and it's based on a simple concept. Hasan, bad. Hasan Piker is bad, and he's dumb, and bad and a terrorist, probably. It's also wild because the political content creator in question is an anti-genocide content creator, and the arguments they're attacking him for are anti-genocide arguments. So these creators, they're positioning themselves in opposition to him and his arguments, de facto positioning themselves on the pro-genocide side.
Well, I mean, maybe these people don't like Hasan Piker because he says a lot of dumb things that aren't always related to the Israel-Palestine situation.
Okay, listen. Like, I don't like to overuse language around intelligence, all right? But I gotta say, when the first statement that you make on your video essay is this ignorant, maybe people just don't like Hasan. Oh yeah, that's right. That's why Ethan Klein is, he just doesn't like Hasan. Maybe it has nothing to do with what's going on in I'm sorry. This is just like it belies somebody that just has not been paying attention to the topic that they are covering, and that is the essence of the drama slop YouTuber. So we're starting off right out the gate with just pure, unbridled, unfiltered ignorance.
Facto positioning themselves on the pro-genocide side.
Well, I mean, maybe these people don't like Hasan Piker because he says a lot of dumb things that aren't always related to the Israel-Palestine situation. In fact, most of the criticism towards him over the years...
See, the thing is, the criticism of Hasan Piker, whether it's about the situation in Gaza or something else, it's kind of the same thing. Right? They're either having a problem with his support for Palestinians, saying, oh, you support Palestinians, so do you support terrorists? Do you condemn Hamas? Right? Or they're doing the same thing on his anti-imperialism takes, and they're like, no, actually, imperialism is based because my history teacher, who's a libertarian, told me so. Like, right? Like, here's some shit from the Black Book of Communism. Right? To prove to you how wrong Hasan Piker is, right? Just every single, like, there's so many, you're right, if you're saying that there's other reasons that people go after Hasan, but they all kind of boil down to the same dynamic. Right? So while Noah's statement might not have been 100% accurate, if you want to get technical and we go, actually, which this is the whole essence of Think Before You Sleep. Like, this guy's whole career is actually, like, that's his whole thing. That's his whole fucking thing, And it's not a smart actually. It's not an informed actually. It's an actually about shit that he doesn't fucking know about. He does a bad job at staying in his lane, and he's been rewarded with that with countless videos that get way too many views, but Anyway, you can kind of boil down the criticism of Hasan. It all runs along the parallel lines in terms of a lack of understanding of criticism of the thing that's fucking up the world. The underlying dynamic that makes it so hard for people to live. Yeah, it's criticism of anti-capitalism and anti-imperialism, and in the case of Israel-Gaza, it's criticism of being against a genocide, right? In other words, it's actually criticism of Hasan's attempt to criticize, some things that are almost inarguably crucial, underlying, integral problems in the world. So in essence, what this boils down to is running defense for Hell World. That is the common thread in a lot of, if not all of, I wouldn't say all of, because it's definitely, there's, other examples that Think Before You Sleep is probably not privy to. There's other people making criticisms of Hasan that I think are perfectly appropriate, but in general, right, it's not criticism of Hasan, right? Hasan is not like is not representative of the powers that be. Hasan is a critic of the powers that be. So the essence of the criticism of Hasan usually boils down to running defense for the powers that be, for Hell World.
This has nothing to do with that at all. But according to Noah, anyone who dumb things that aren't always related to the Israel-Palestine situation. In fact, most of the criticism towards him over the years has nothing to do with that at all. But according to Noah, anyone who criticizes Hasan...
But even look at this. Like, right, this is a post on 4chan, I'm assuming, showing Hasan in a Make the Rich Pay and pointing out that Hasan himself is rather wealthy. Oh my gosh. So let me get this straight. You can't criticize capitalism if you are wealthy, right? Because you're benefiting from capitalism. You're doing capitalism. You're an amazing hypocrite if you're doing that. You can't criticize capitalism if you are poor because you're just a hater. You're not successful at capitalism. And we can boil your criticism down that. So there's like this Goldilocks range of income that I don't know if you have to like get means tested to prove that you're in. There's this thin little slice of income where I guess it's acceptable to criticize capitalism, but I'm sure they'll find a reason why that's not okay either. Again, this boils down to, it's not criticism, it's masking itself as criticism of Hasan, but it really is just running defense for fucking capitalism.
Now loves it when people die. Okay, I'm loving the us versus them mentality. And, well, I think it's time for the yearly Noah Samsen check-in. Last time was pretty crazy with the Illumination stuff, but this time Noah seems to be even more off his meds than usual. I guess he decided that slandering one of his opponents to try to get his audience to deplatform that opponent wasn't enough, so now he's slandering a bunch of big YouTubers to try to get his audience to, well, we'll get to that. But first, a little backstory on the whole Hasan.
I want to point something out, all right? Noah's saying that certain creators are backing a genocide. I don't think can be slander. Slander is a subcategory of defamation, right? It has to do with whether you publish it or whatever, right? In fact, yeah, like whether it's like libel or slander or whatever, right? But that's that, so in other words, the criticism of Noah Samsen that he's doing defamation on Ethan Klein, on Mudahar, on Destiny, etc., right? It's just, you can kind of throw it away because the claim that's being made is a subjective one. Now, you know what's not a subjective claim? Claiming that someone committed a crime, or sorry, not a crime, but in other words, like he just said defamation, right?
To deplatform that opponent wasn't enough, so now he's slandering a bunch.
Who's getting deplatformed?
Noah seems.
Oh, this was about the Illumination thing. So Noah encouraged people to flag some of Think Before You Sleep's content. That's what they're talking about here.
To be even more off his meds than usual. I guess he decided that slandering one of his opponents to try to get his audience to deplatform that opponent was
pretty close to a legal claim. Look, like I said, chat, most things that get conflated with defamation are not actually defamation. Most of the time when people are claiming defamation, but when you make like a legal claim, when you say somebody is guilty of this crime or somebody is, in violation of this law, that is, on some level an objective claim, and that can be subject to, the rules around. Now, I don't think Noah's gonna, sue Think Before You Sleep or anything like that, but if you're trying to avoid doing these, infractions that you're accusing Noah of doing, you might want to try to be careful not to engage in those infractions yourself. I don't know, just a thought.
Wasn't enough, so now he's slandering a bunch of big YouTubers to try to get his audience.
He's slandering. No, that's what this guy just said. This guy said Noah Samsen is doing slander. I'm telling you, like, you want to see how you get actually, successfully sued for defamation? You're speedrunning it right now. You're speedrunning it.
Well, we'll get to that. But first, a little backstory on the whole Hasan.
Just to be clear, I'm not making the claim. I'm just saying that this is the sort of thing that could subject you to a successful suit for defamation.
Hasan Piker, Noah Samsen, and Ethan Klein situation. About 2 months ago, YouTuber Ethan Klein released a content nuke on his former Leftovers podcast.
A content nuke.
Co-host Hasan Piker, who has endorsed things like terrorism, has violated the Twitch rules numerous times, and never gets in trouble for it like any other creator who is...
See, now there's another, like, all right, so anyway, I'm stopping this too much, chat, but like, if you want to say that Hasan has endorsed terrorism, I don't agree with you. But I don't think that you're going to get sued for that, right? Because that's like your opinion, man, right? You know, like, if you think that what Hasan is saying, if you think that what Hasan is doing amounts to an endorsement of terrorism, I'm like, you know, I guess you're free to say that, and nobody's going to come back at you and successfully, you know, sue you for defamation based on that. But if you start to say that Hasan Piker, you know, if you said that he has committed like an act of terrorism or something, okay, well there we're getting into the objective.
Not Hasan would. Some people might call that a double standard. In response to Ethan's video, boosted e-girl Noah Samsen, who basically has had his entire career made by Hasan reacting to his videos, decided that he can't have people criticizing his pay pig, because if people point out all the rule breaking that Hasan has done and he gets banned from Twitch,
sorry.
Who would boost all of Noah's videos? So after Ethan's content nuke...
Wait, who, like, Hasan is Noah's pay pig? I'm sorry, what?
Double standard.
Because he's giving him free clout? Is that how it's a pay pig? It's like a pay pig is a derisive, you know, term for people that, I don't know, support a content creator, like, financially. It's, you know, like Findom streamers, you know, that whose audience wants to be insulted by the streamer will often call their, I mean, that's where the pay pig language comes from, right? It's a specific niche of content where the content creator insults the audience because the audience is into being insulted, right? Is into being demeaned, and you know, is in some ways paying to be demeaned. So part of that, you know, demeaning of the audience is, you know, referring to them with terms like that. Just so we're clear on the definition, I'm just trying to understand his metaphor here of how Hasan is like a pay pig to Noah Samsen. Hasan is giving something up in order to be demeaned by Noah. It doesn't. The metaphor does not work, right? It's just not. You can't. I don't understand what bro is saying.
In response to Ethan's video, boosted e-girl Noah Samsen, who basically has had his entire career made by Hasan reacting to his videos, decided that he can't have people criticizing his pay pig, because if people...
Okay, so he's saying that Noah Samsen is only popular because Hasan has reacted to his videos. So in other words, like, Noah doesn't make good content, Noah doesn't have any movement or clout by himself. It's only because Hasan is reacting to his videos that Noah Samsen has achieved any prominence at all. That's the claim. I just don't understand, you know, even if you accept that, which I don't think that's true, but whatever. Even if you accept that, I just don't see how that makes how that makes Hasan a pay pig. The payment is Hasan watching Noah Samsen. But where's the pig part? Where does Hasan get made into a pig? At what point does Noah Samsen be like, "Hey Hasan, I know you like watching these videos, don't you, you pay pig? I know you love it when I treat you badly. I know," like, I don't see, like, Noah Samsen, like, negging Hasan. I don't see that.
Point out all the rule breaking that Hasan has done and he gets banned from Twitch, who would boost all of Noah's videos? So after Ethan's content nuke, Noah made this video called "The YouTubers Who Bat a Genocide." You got Destiny on the left, Turkey Tom in the middle, Mudahar on the right of him, and to the far right, you have Ethan Klein doing sort of the closest screenshot that Noah could get of something that looks like a Nazi salute. And basically, Noah spent...
Or if you just go a few frames back in your video, it could be that he got it from right here. Do you think that Ethan Klein is trying to make himself look like he's doing a Nazi salute? Also, the way that he says far right implies that, oh yeah, of course we're going to put Ethan Klein over on the far right. Are you saying Ethan's far right? No, Noah Samsen is not saying that Ethan Klein is far right. All right, that's the problem. If if fucking Ethan Klein was a far right, extremist or something like that, there wouldn't, that's just kind of what you'd expect, right? Some far right extremists are anti-Semitic, and some far right extremists are, in support of Israeli nationalism, like, rolling over the Palestinians, right? He's stretching so much. Chad, do you see this? Do you see this? That's where he got it. That's where Noah got this. You are so. I'm sorry, chat. So there's some people that make a convincing argument that laziness does not really exist, that it's not a real thing, that whatever we call laziness is misattributed. But this is fucking lazy. Like, you've got the image that explains where this comes from, and then you show us this, and you're like, where did that image come from? Oh, it must be because he was searching for something that made him look like he was doing an Elon Musk. My heart goes out. Anyway.
Tom in the middle, Mudahar on the right of him.
This is bad.
And to the far right, you have Ethan Klein doing sort of the closest screenshot that Noah could get of something that looks like a Nazi salute.
Screenshot! He called it a screenshot. You just showed it that it comes from a thumbnail. It's not a screenshot. It's a picture that Ethan Klein himself took to put on his thumbnail to do like a soy jack face and to point to Hasan and to do the meme of like, I'm content nuking this guy. This is my content cop. This is my content nuke. Hasan is destroyed, right? That's all it is. That's all it is.
And basically, Noah spends this whole video saying stuff like this.
Jews rock! I love Jews!
Wait, that's the wrong
Fuck did that come from?
clip. This is the correct one.
Israel has a long history of intentionally targeting Palestinian civilians for slaughter. Genocide isn't just a bad thing that's happening where people are dying. No, that's not what it is. It's a Holocaust. The U.S.-Israeli Holocaust. That's what it should be called. Israel is using everything in its power to eradicate Palestinians from the planet. The fact that Israel's actions in Gaza amount to genocide isn't controversial. Not among the experts, at least.
That basically sums up Noah's whole response to Ethan's content nuke on Hasan. There's a lot of misery porn of Palestinians being hurt, and Israelis are the Voldemort-like evil perpetrators of that harm.
What?
And look, personally, I don't have a lot of interest in this war.
Why are you making a video about it? You stay in your lane, think before you sleep, which is like, should be like advice to guys of how they will never get laid because only the top like 10% of guys are getting laid, and there's a big conspiracy, right? Women are oh but God, what's the word that they use? Hypergamous. It's because women are hypergamous, bitches are gold diggers, and therefore this is why you're doomed, and you should just take the black pill and accept that you will always be lonely, and your only consolation, ironically enough, is the kind of misogyny that will actually ensure that you are unlikely to get laid. You are unlikely to find yourself in a relationship. God, there's just so much bullshit coming so. It's hard to.
The planet. The fact that Israel's actions in Gaza amount to genocide isn't controversial. Not among the experts, at least.
That basically sums up Noah's whole response to Ethan's content nuke on Hasan. There's a lot of misery porn of
misery porn. Do you really think that people are watching this and enjoying it? The fuck is that? Misery porn? He just said misery porn, chat. I mean, I guess that's the one way that you can ignore the mangled images of children coming across your timeline, right? Is to just be like, oh, I don't want to look at that. That's misery porn. No, that's real. That's happening. That's your world. That's your country. That's your tax dollars at work. Think before you sleep. That is your tax dollars at work. Making those bombs that disfigure those children. Yes. That is not misery porn. Jesus Christ.
Palestinians being hurt, and Israelis are the Voldemort-like evil perpetrators of that harm. And look, personally,
there's so much wrong with comparing Israelis to Voldemort, but I can't stop on everything.
I don't have a lot of interest in this war. I'm not a big fan of the U.S. getting involved with other people's drama, and contrary to Noah's completely one-sided coverage, it seems like
Voldemort, believe it or not, is not the. There is an anti-Semitic trope in J.K. Rowling's writing. It is not Voldemort, though.
Both sides have done some pretty horrible things. But this video is not about fact-checking Noah's research on Israel and Palestine, which I'm sure is as horrendous as it usually is. What this video is actually about is Noah Samsen pushing his audience towards violent radicalism through slandering other creators and openly calling for his audience to use violence to achieve their political goals. That being said, let's go further into detail for why Noah didn't like Ethan's content nuke on Hasan.
The real reason I'm talking about Ethan's video today is less about what he says in it and more about what he doesn't say, the things he chooses to leave out. Ethan omits the Palestinian side of the story entirely. He doesn't talk about Gaza. He doesn't give any specifics about what Israel is doing there. And this is an issue. Western media manufactures consent for large-scale terror operations across the globe in a number of ways. There are more overt forms like atrocity propaganda. There are also more subtle ways like deceptively framing information, using passive language, and creating false perceptions about conflicts through
Rooster
things
Rick,
like
thank
burying
you
the
for the
lead
warning.
and lies
Yes.
by omission. All of these tactics are present in Ethan's video and the wider online smear campaign that motivated it, but it's that last thing that I think does quite a bit of damage, lying by omission.
So this is incredibly dishonest framing from Noah. Ethan's video is more about Hasan and not fully a response to the Israel-Palestine situation. So of course Ethan
This is profoundly ignorant. This is profoundly ignorant. Ethan had no problem, or at least no serious contention with Hasan until the arguments they had around October 7th, right? Ethan's whole problem with Hasan, I guess there's other things that he said. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Ethan's criticism of Hasan is specifically around the, Israeli incursion into Gaza and the subsequent, the violation of human rights, and yes, the massive, slaughter of innocent people. That's what his criticism is about, right? Sure, does he also talk about like communism bad and anti-imperialism equal America bad, which is bad, and yet, are there some, cursory things that he mentions in addition? Sure, but like the main, instigator, the catalyst of the controversy, the disagreement between Hasan and Ethan was, the events in Israel and Gaza.
is going to talk about the Israel side a lot more because he's playing opposition to Hasan. Even still,
Playing opposition. Fuck.
Ethan makes a point in his video to
So, wait, this guy sees Ethan's crash out on Hasan, and he looks at it as a Christmas present. Look at what Santa brought me. Right? I got some more anti-Hasan shit, because I love that Hasan bad shit. And when somebody says, well, it's about Israel, he's like, oh, no, it's more about Hasan. Like, because that's what he cares about. Like, he's just, like I said, this guy's too ignorant. And a little bit of a fence sitter, too. That'll come up later, I'm sure.
sympathize with what's happening to the Palestinians in Gaza. Funnily enough, Noah actually includes one of these moments in his video, but he is such a sociopath that he takes this moment that Ethan is using to sympathize with the Palestinians and uses it to attack him.
Towards the start of his video,
The Palestinian people need more than sympathy. Thoughts and prayers are not helping anybody out. Right? Especially, like I said, when you live in a country that is bankrolling the slaughter. Thoughts and prayers are not enough. What the fuck? Charlie Kelly, weasels indeed. Yeah, let's spread those weasels. Let's get those weasels going. If we wanna hit that bonus goal and get extra content, if you're really serious about it and you wanted me to take you with me via my phone and do a Songkran stream, then weasels we need to see some movement on that weasel front. But yeah, thank you for getting us started with that, Charlie Kelly.
Ethan mentions a death toll figure of 40,000 Palestinian people.
Of course, if you compare the raw numbers, Gazans have lost a lot more than Israelis. 40,000 people have died, and neighborhoods have been completely flattened
Did you
during
know
this
that?
war.
Oh
The
my god,
figure he
thank you for
cites is
telling
wrong.
me that, Ethan
It's just
Klein.
wrong. Credible
I didn't know
estimates
that.
have placed the full scale of
Wow. I'm so glad that you're sending your thoughts and prayers to Gaza. That's really going to help out. That's really going to help out a lot. Hey, Palestinians, no need to worry. No need to worry. Everything's going to be just fine because Ethan Klein sends you thoughts and prayers. You got those thoughts and prayers. Normal by Nature with the 5 gifted memberships. Van 400, you just got weaseled. Carlos Osa, you just got weaseled. Cooks. I don't know if there's 2 cooks or more cooks. I don't know if these are leftist cooks or any kind of cooks, but whatever kind of cooks you are, you just got weaseled. SK, you just got weaseled. Teresa, you just got weaseled. And that's a good thing. Especially on a day like today where we're trying to get out there and get wet.
Of the slaughter in Gaza at over 65,000 deaths due to traumatic injury.
Who cares if you got the number wrong? That's not the point of this statement. The point is to do something that Noah, the nice guy of YouTube, has never really gotten the hang of, which is to spend at least a second of your video showing the humanity in your opponent. I really find it disgusting that...
You know what's funny about this nice guy terminology is that, like, I don't think it necessarily comes from a bad place, right? There is, you know, ironically enough, the original usage of nice guy as a pejorative was speaking to, like, incel culture, where, like, you know, your typical incel would say that, you know, they're a nice guy, but that women, they don't want nice guys. They want psychopaths, right? They want the Chad is a psychopath. He's a really bad dude. The women are misidentifying good men, and they're choosing the Chad over the nice guy. And, you know, basically, you know, woe is me. I'm a nice guy, and I have no chance with women because women are stupid, right? Is where that comes from. Now, like the way that he's using nice guy, it seems like a reappropriation of that or a recuperation of that or something. Where now it's like, oh, well, the problem is that Noah's a nice guy, or he seems to be a nice guy, right? And as we all know, anyone who's a nice guy is secretly a scumbag. But the thing is that think before you sleep is that kind of scumbag that the you know, traditional or the original usage of nice guy is hiding, right? You know, I'm a nice guy. Why won't these bitches, you know, give me any action, right? And it's like, you know, they end up in a rant against the guys that women are choosing, in a rant against women. The supposed nice guy, you know, proves himself not to be a nice guy. Noah's now getting criticism for just seeming chill and nice and not overly broy or misogynistic, right? That's now a criticism in and of itself.
Instead of using this moment to find common ground with Ethan, Noah downplays Ethan trying to humanize the Palestinians. He actually does this again later in the video as he chastises Ethan for daring to donate to Palestinian victims.
Hey, Ethan Klein, thank you for the dono. Ethan Klein gave $6,500. My goat.
What did he do? He donated to a fundraiser. Okay, but what if I told you that this donation was a one-time donation of what is likely less than 1% of his yearly income?
Gee, what
if I told you that you can be a scumbag and still hold fundraisers for good causes or donate to good causes, and that doesn't make you not a scumbag? What if I told you that? What if I told you that there were content creators that use their you know, their fundraising or their donation to fundraising efforts as a fig leaf? And what if I told you that's actually what Noah Samsen was talking about, not saying, as you've characterized it, that donating to you know, Hasan's fundraiser was a bad thing?
Thank you like that. Why would anyone want to help the Palestinians? That being said, Ethan Klein wasn't too happy about the slander from Noah Samsen, especially...
Did he use AI to set the backgrounds? I don't know. We do have to talk about the format of these videos, the art, you can call it that, underlying this, the Like all it is that he either licenses or more likely, gets copyright free, high quality, high resolution images, and that's all his videos are. It's a way for this guy to record his voice and to do the least amount possible as far as editing, as far as the real work of a YouTuber goes, and to not like lose retention. I mean, like the next step would just be showing Subway Surfers, right? Just show somebody else playing Subway Surfers to the backdrop of your rant.
Actually, the part where Noah called him a supporter of mass murder of innocent people that Ethan, by the way, in reality sent money to and openly sympathized with on multiple occasions. So now lawyers are getting involved.
And again, I'm not taking any prisoners. If my attorney thinks
Yo, I love it when my friends and family are getting, killed and dismembered, and somebody openly sympathizes with me. That's really what I need in that situation, right? Where your government is destroying my family. What I really need more than anything is your thoughts and prayers, and you openly sympathize with me. That was so awesome. That was so great. And at the same time, you're criticizing anybody who's putting pressure on my government to stop funding this shit. That's great, Ethan. In fact, your open sympathy and your one-time $6,000 donation just counteracts everything that you're doing that is enabling the continuation of this violence. Absolutely. You couldn't hope for better, chat. You couldn't hope for a better ally than Ethan Klein here.
if there's anything in here, if he thinks that there's like a decent shot of defamation, I'm suing this fucking piece of shit. It's a little scumbag. It's not a threat. You'll be hearing from us very soon, my friend.
Thomas
Start
Kincaid.
crowdfunding. Start looking for an attorney. You know what I mean? It's gonna be fun.
And Ethan has every right to sue Noah for this. Maybe now one of these radical leftist influencers will actually suffer legal consequences for committing crimes. This is absolutely slander. Not only did Noah make this thumbnail straight up accusing Ethan of supporting people being murdered, not only did he remove important context from multiple things in his video, but he also doubled down on it.
So he is threatening to sue me for defamation on the grounds that accusing someone of supporting genocide is messed up. I can think of something even more messed up than accusing someone of supporting genocide, which is, actually supporting genocide.
Noah actually has a history of making false accusations with his video titles and thumbnails. This is not a new behavior from him. Speaking of the Alienation drama, where a YouTuber I reacted to tried to get me a channel strike by telling her followers to mass flag me, last year, Noah used an intentionally deceptive title and thumbnail to make people think that I doxed Alienation in retaliation for the mass flagging campaign, when in reality, I in fact not only did not do that, but I openly told people to not attack her, even though she told her followers to attack me. Noah, the lover of context and the hater of lies by omission, seemed to forget to inform people of the part where I very emphatically said in my video, hey, don't harass this person. And, of course, his title had the intended effect of making people believe I did something that I did not do.
The title is Think Before You Dox, right?
Right.
And I read that title, and that's why I watched the video. I was like, damn, that's juicy. What the fuck? Think Before You Sleep, dox this woman?
That was my understanding from the title. Yeah, that was my immediate
Oh,
conclusion.
wait,
That's not
Fortnite.
what happened at all.
Look,
So
chat,
many similarities here. It seems like
right as I said, you might throw some Subway Surfers up there, some kinetic sand or whatever. There he is with the Fortnite footage.
Noah has a really bad habit of accusing his enemies of supporting things they are openly in opposition to. Now, Ethan Klein...
I was openly opposition. Chat, if you do a video and you say this scumbag bitch is making people obese, she's doing things that are going to result in people's death by, comorbidities to obesity, right? But hey, whatever you do, don't dox her. With this audience of incels, what do you think's going to happen? What do you expect to happen? Like, what is the effect of that? And yeah, not only that, I'm gonna put the idea of doxing in your head, but in a way where I say, don't, whatever you do, don't dox this person, don't harass this person. And yeah, I'm so surprised that Illumation got harassment. I'm so surprised. Now I don't remember if Illumation actually got doxed or you know what the story was. It's been a while since that controversy, but damn.
He isn't the only one suing Noah. In a really unfortunately cropped tweet, Mudahar has announced that he will also be suing Noah. The tweet says, "In the last couple weeks, a YouTuber, Noah Samsen, has uploaded a few videos labeling me as a genocide supporter. Normally, I would not engage with this discourse, but this has affected my business and has bled into my personal life." Mudahar goes on to say that he is a Muslim, doesn't like what the Israeli Defense Force has done, and will be suing Noah for defamation. Now, to further emphasize Mudahar's stance on the whole Israel-Palestine thing, let's watch this clip that I found. Well, I found it on Noah's list of source citations from his video.
I think that there is an actual case of, genocide, and there's an actual case of attack that goes towards the Palestinian people. I think there's very serious situations that go around the world. If you've ever grown up Muslim,
I'm sorry. Whoa.
And I have, then you know.
Whoa. We cut him off right before the butt, didn't we? Did you hear what? Look, I don't, I mean, we have to check this to make sure, but, listen
Palestine
to this.
thing. Let's watch.
Listen to the tone of what Mudahar is saying here.
This clip that I found, well, I found it on Noah's list of source citations from his video.
I think that there is an actual case of, genocide, and there's an actual case of attack that goes towards the Palestinian people. I think there's very serious situations that go around the world.
But we got the cut right there. Was that Mudahar's cut? Or was that statement just this is a caveat, chat? This is a now just to check the box. I'm going to go ahead and say that what Israel's doing is very bad, but you know what's really bad? Hasan Piker. The people calling it out. The people putting pressure on the United States government, the people, educating the citizens of the United States that what is being done in their name is genocide. That's what I really care about, though. Yeah, Israel kind of bad though too. Israel kind of bad, low key. Both sides, chat. Both sides are bad. Both sides are bad. Again, not helpful.
If you've ever grown up Muslim, and I have, then you know that there is a serious culture of anti-Semitism, in amongst the most conservative of Muslim circles. Just as you will know that there is a...
So chat, I don't know if that was Mudahar's cut or if that was Think Before You Sleep's cut, but regardless, right, this is the but, low-key Muslims are hella anti-Semitic, so...
Serious amount of Islamophobia in the most right-wing...
What are you saying, Mudahar? What are you saying?
...of Jewish circles. These are two groups of people that literally are just fighting each other. And when it comes to people dying...
Yeah, it's just both sides, man. Both sides. I mean, what can you do? What can you do, chat? It's a terrible situation. Oh, well, let me go order some fucking DoorDash, right?
In a conflict zone like Gaza right now, there is literally nothing that I feel other than sad.
Let me go play some video games.
For men, women, and children needlessly dying for no reason.
Again, this was listed as one of Noah's sources, so he saw this, which makes Mudahar at least the third person that Noah has accused of supporting things they are openly opposed to.
Mudahar, who I've spoken with about this, I especially feel bad for because he is a practicing Muslim and he's part of a...
Biva says, this goof constantly did videos attacking her. He said she was harming... Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Harming children over and over again. Yeah, basically saying that, essentially, content creators like Illumation being able to do videos that are hey, don't hate yourself over your weight, right? And I think that video was not just about don't hate yourself for being for being overweight, but also don't hate yourself for being underweight, right? I think that was just it was more of a body acceptance video, right? Allowing this body acceptance movement to go on, without harassment is putting in danger the next generation, because they might watch it and be like, hey, I wasn't gonna eat 5 pieces of pizza, but now I am because Illumation said it's all right. No, Illumation didn't say that, and her video is not having that effect. But you wouldn't know it from Think Before You Sleep's video. You would think that Illumation was shoving the pizza down people's throats.
the Muslim community, and he's accusing Mudahar of being pro-genocide for like basically saying he disagrees with Hasan promoting terrorist groups. These fucking white savior losers, man. It's like he's weaponizing his own religion against him, saying he's like a bad Muslim. That's the insinuation.
So basically, again, if you don't like Hasan and point out the double standards on Twitch, then you like it when innocent people die. Nice, Noah. You really stood up for your cash cow Hasan Piker. I'm sure he will happily continue boosting your views.
Hasan spent 2 hours watching this one. He spent 2 hours watching the first one on his stream in its entirety, glazing him up.
Is he saying Noah provided sources? No, he's saying that Noah's sources like debunk him. That's what he's trying to. He's trying to say that Mudahar putting the actually the stuff that's that Israel's doing is really bad, but also there's a lot of anti-Semitism. You know, like his butt statement. Like, right, this is one of those classic butt statements where everything that you say before the butt is bullshit. You are, you're saying something to check a box, but then you say what you really feel.
And again, let me further emphasize that outside of being an editor for Cody Co., Noah Samsen was literally a nobody on YouTube before Hasan Piker started reacting to all of his content and sending him followers. This is why he's glazing Hasan so hard here in this drama, and probably—
Is that what this is about? Is Think Before You Sleep jealous of Noah Samsen? Dude that literally gets all of his subs from the algorithm, from the algorithm's love of incel content, right? Is complaining that Noah Samsen might have gotten, 10,000 followers from Hasan shouting him out. Wow.
Probably why he also joined the Israel-Palestine meta like all the other Hasan groupies.
I think Hasan likes that this conflict's going on. His views were sort of—
No, it couldn't. Oh God, chat. At some point, here, let me take this out of the way, because we're gonna have to deal with this at some point. All right. Person is in the same space as me. Person is a fucking bad take factory. I have kind of ignored him in the past, but Jesus fucking Christ. At some point, chat, at some point. I just, the biggest thing that saved Papa Gut from the ire of NCC is the fact that I try to avoid doing reactions to reactions, and any coverage of Papa Gut would be inherently that. Christ is the fountain of bad takes over here. I mean, not exclusively, right? I'm not saying I'm sure that in fact, I've seen Papa Gut does have some good takes, but a lot of bad takes too, and especially when it comes to Ethan.
Starting to dwindle until this whole October 7th situation happened, and then his views went back up. If you don't think that he's loving every minute.
Again, Hasan's views did not go up after October 7th. They went down. He lost, like, what did we figure this out, chat? I think some people said like up to half of his audience left. I think it's probably more like 30%. But yeah, so regardless, a substantial amount of Hasan's audience did not hear him say the right words. A substantial amount of Hasan's audience needed to hear him say that Israel has the right to protect itself. And he didn't say that. He didn't say that. They needed him to say that I disavow hummus. What is this accent from? What, Papa Gut or from I don't know, chat. Did I get him wrong? Is he a Canadian? Maybe it's a Canadian accent. Is it a Canadian American weeaboo? Canadian Americans. I don't know. I don't know that much about the history or the background of Think Before You Sleep. I saw Ethan talking about tariffs. No sniffing. Ooh, sniffing in that one. Interesting. That, yeah, X is bad. Sharon Middleton. I have stopped. I still have an account on there, but I have stopped using it. Do I associate it with libs unhinged shit? So funny that Ethan is talking like he isn't white. Yeah, there's a decent amount of that. My work is mostly sharing stories from inside hacktivist work, but make a way to have a group like, oh, like a good white leaf. This guy thinks cash cow is pay pig. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's just stretching. Like on a lot of levels, right? Remember, he finds that picture of like, look, Hasan's or Noah Samsen is trying to make it look like Ethan Klein is doing a Sig Heil. Meanwhile, that picture is not a screenshot that Noah Samsen paused it in just the right place. It's literally Ethan's thumbnail. It's the thumbnail from the content nuke. That's where he got the image of Ethan Klein. He wasn't trying to make it look like Ethan was doing an Elon Musk. He just is putting Ethan Klein on the thumbnail because Ethan Klein is a subject of the video.
That Israelis or Palestinians kill each other, you're dumb as fuck.
Now, believe it or not, this whole situation between Noah Samsen and Ethan Klein actually gets much worse. Defamation isn't the only problem here, but in order to understand what's going on, I feel like I need to add some context. So let's back it up a bit. That being said, a major tipping point in this YouTube/Twitch Israel-Palestine drama was an infamous panel at TwitchCon 2024 where Denim, Frogan, and some other people that nobody knows.
An infamous panel on which it was suggested that Sabra hummus is not the be-all end-all when it comes to hummus. A panel on which it was suggested that maybe Sabra hummus is a little bit mid. And also maybe Ethan Klein is a little bit mid. That's what got Ethan mad about it in the first place, right? But no, he's like, oh, they're doing a racial tier. Look, Arabs is at the top. Must be a racial tier list. Sabra's at the bottom. Who eats Sabra? He's the word that he's fishing for. The question that, or the answer that he's begging here, you're supposed to answer Jews. And that's not been my experience. Even Ethan Klein himself admitted that Sabra hummus is something that he eats in a pinch, and that he much prefers to get homemade hummus, or, I don't think he talks about the thing that I brought up is that even as far as store-bought hummus goes, Sabra is one of the worst, right? Anytime I've ever, prior to the knowing anything about, BDS or anything like that, when I've tried Sabra, it has resulted in heartburn for me. It doesn't digest very well, right? So I don't know what's going on with it, but it's not tasty. It's dry. It's bad hummus. I don't know what to say. That does that make me like infamous? Am I infamous for saying that Sabra hummus is not great?
Did this game where they rated content creators from Arab to love Sabra, which honestly seems like a boring idea for a panel, but apparently there was a hit.
Look, panels are hard to do if you've ever like if you get the word from Twitch, hey, we're going to have you and your friends do a panel, you're going to be out there in front of an audience at TwitchCon, entertain them. It's not easy to do. And yeah, tier list, the tried and true content meta, I guess, right? I mean, I'm not a big fan of tier lists, but what are you going to do, right? You give me, 10 hours to prepare something and tell me I'm going to spend like 30 to 60 minutes in front of a live audience at TwitchCon. I don't know. I don't think that I'd come up with anything that great either.
Hidden dog whistle in there.
Because Frogan is the
dog whistle? It's a dog whistle? It's a dog whistle? Saying that there's good hummus and bad hummus is a dog whistle? Saying that a store-bought hummus, in fact, a particular store-bought hummus, which a lot of people agree is among the worst, even of store-bought variety, right? The acknowledging that's oh my god, chat, that's a dog whistle?
Star champ, and because of her massive viewership of 100 concurrent viewers, it only makes sense that Twitch would give her one of the main stages at TwitchCon to do a
a fucking bully. What a bully. Ethan Klein, I don't think you deserve 100 concurrents. I think that had you not been an OG YouTuber and come up in a time where, you know, the bar for content was very, very low, right? Were you not kind of grandfathered into the YouTube meta, I don't trust that you'd have more than 100 concurrents. But what a bully. What a bully. He's like, "Oh, 100 concurrents? You're not even really doing YouTube. Like, all right, I've got 4,000, or like, at the time, what he would have had more like 25,000. He did have 40,000 at one point, but that was years ago. It was before the crash out.
5-minute long segment. Her idea that was Twitch approved, an Arab to Jew racial tier list. Top and most desirable tier is Arab. And at the bottom, the worst one is, quote, loves Sabra. Now, why does loves Sabra equate to Jews? Sabra is a well
Not about Jews versus Arabs or some shit like that, right? Mike from PA is down there on the tier list, you know, with you, right? There's there's a lot. Like, if the thing about the whole tier list is, if you actually just look at the tiers when they're all filled in, you look at who's where, right? You'll see that it's definitely not a tier list that is and like Sabra. In other words, like, if Ethan Klein's claim was correct, then everybody on the Love Sabra list would just happen to be Jewish. Oh my gosh, we got you know, all Jews on Love Sabra. That's not what's there. That's not what's there at all. There are, you know, there are Jewish people, you know, on the top of the tier list, right? It doesn't correspond, right? It's not a there's not a trend of, like, you know, people in the Love Sabra category even like tending to be Jewish. This is just, I feel like Ethan Klein might be the only the only, you know, Jewish person on that level. If you actually look at the full on, and that's what you never see. You see the unfilled out tier list, and then sometimes you see them putting Ethan's face up there. That's all that Ethan's ever shown. He doesn't show you the video, and if you watch the whole video, if you watch the whole panel, you're gonna see that it's not a fucking racial tier list or religious tier list or
Israeli
anything like
company that makes hummus. Oh yeah, and Sabra literally means a Jew that was born in Israel. They pull me, one of the best known Jewish creators.
Whoa, oh my God, this guy's so up his own ass. Excuse me, Ethan. I hate to burst your bubble, but there's a lot of Jewish creators that are better known than you. Like, what the fuck are you trying to say? That's a pretty low bar. Like, Ethan Klein is the best that any Jewish person has ever, you know, done on the internet. Excuse me?
And immediately put me in Sabra. Loves Sabra.
That's all we see. That's all we see. We don't get to see who else is in there. Then we don't get to see that Mike from PA's right there. I think, isn't Denim's in, like, Love Sabra? I mean, it's as a joke, right? But
literally in this case means.
But yeah. This is a you know. If you're from Israel, you might know this, that Sabra has been used as a euphemism for you know, being Jewish and being born in Israel.
Jew lover. So you're telling me you understand what a microaggression is, but you can't.
But yeah, Ethan, by your own statement, like, you know, if that's what you're going to hold it to, you're going to act like this niche terminology, you know, that's, you know, germane to specifically, you know, Israeli culture, is what this is based on. Ethan, you are not a Sabra by that metric, by that with that, you know, euphemism, right? You do not fit into that category, and I don't think anybody on the tier list is. I don't if that's what you think they were trying to mean. Oh no, unless he's trying to say that Love Sabra was like a code for Loves Ela, since Ela fits that category. I don't know, chat. I'm giving him too much credit. I'm steel manning him too much. And he doesn't deserve it. He hasn't shown he deserves that.
understand why a Jewish man might be uncomfortable with this. I feel like this is indefensible, blatant, obvious anti-Semitism, and this was greenlit by...
Ethan, you're not uncomfortable. You are elated. You are thrilled with, you know, having the ability to stretch this into, like, you know, the fucking a freaking tier list, right? That implies that Sabra is not the best hummus, which you yourself admit, right? You are gleeful to have the ability to stretch this into something that, yeah, you could get people banned for 30 days with, because Twitch's leadership are a bunch of cowards.
Twitch to appear on their main stage.
You've got to be kidding me. They're saying Jew lover as a slur in the modern day. Is this To Kill a Mockingbird?
Oh my fucking god. Oh my god.
Are we back in the 60s?
This is the kind of guy that will I wouldn't be surprised, chat. Somebody do a little if somebody can figure out what did Think Before You Sleep say about the Elon salute, about Elon saying his heart goes out to people, right? What did he say about that? Because I feel like this is the type of dude that would be like, no, he's an autistic man and he was feeling exuberant. He's socially awkward. Of course he wasn't doing a Hitler salute. Right? Obvious cases of actual racism, of display of racist sentiments are not problematic at all. But if you can fucking stretch something that somebody on the left has said into, like, oh, you were saying that he's a, you know, Sabra lover? Right? Dog whistle much? Right? There's no consistency here. Also, what the fuck am I looking at? Is this a Norwegian cruise ship? Is that what I'm seeing? Is that what your stock art is, bud? Jesus Christ. Like, is that like a ship in a fjord? Is that what I'm looking at?
'60s, all these anti-racists are calling people the equivalent of N-word lovers as an insult to those who disagree with them.
And again, these are the same people that judged me based on the thumbnail that I used for, like, the Keffels video. So to give you a quick idea to understand, putting two Jews in the F tier kind of gives you an idea of, like, where they're at. Arab being at the top, Jew being at the bottom, okay? This is literally hateful conduct occurring on the platform.
Let this be a lesson that...
Or it could just be that they don't think that Ben Shapiro and Ethan Klein get Arab culture. That's what the point of the list was, right? It was a joke on, like, you know, who gets the pass, right? And in this case, instead of who gets the pass to say a slur, it's who gets the pass to say a term of endearment, right? That's the joke. That's the joke, is, you know, who can say Habibi, right? Is the...
that those who are actually racist will do so openly and are proud of it. They don't try to hide it or apologize if they get accused of racism. This has always been the case. So anyway, a number of people noticed that Capcom, Samsung, and Chevron were sponsoring this racist panel, so they did a mass emailing campaign saying, hey, did you know that these people you were sponsoring were openly saying racial slurs right in front of your brand name? After this campaign, Hasan groupies, Frogan, and Denims got a 30-day ban on Twitch, to which I personally celebrated by getting some hummus at my local store. I mean, they probably only got
promptly got heartburn. I'm glad. I hope you had acid burps, dude. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to wish harm on you. I hope you understand. What I'm trying to say is I hope you understand now why Sabra is not a good hummus. I'm not, you know, wishing GERD on you or anything like that. You know, I hope you get whatever medical help you need and learn a good lesson from, like, this is why we don't buy Sabra.
Because they lost Twitch money and not for any moral reasons, because both of them have done way worse rule violations, but close enough. I'll take this as a win for justice. But all of this is to point out that the Hasan fan club has many members in it who don't like Jewish people very much.
That's what this guy calls justice? It's like 5 innocent streamers being banned from Twitch for 30 days, right? Smaller streamers too, except for in the case of Denims, you know, who actually do suffer from going dark for 30 days, unlike a larger streamer whose return would be more anticipated and could actually turn, you know, the controversy into a positive, right? When Asmongold, like, literally is like, you have an inferior culture, and you know, wishing G-side on people, and he gets banned for 14 days. That's what he calls justice. That's what this dude calls justice. I think your idea of justice is akin to something more like strike back.
Much, and that includes Noah Samsen, which brings us back to Noah's video. You see, ironically, Noah complained that Ethan was a liar who was lying by omission. Here's a reminder of that.
But it's that last thing that I think does quite a bit of damage, lying by omission.
What's funny is that if you actually watch Noah's...
Wait, excuse me. Think Before You Sleep was engaged to Brittany Venti? Is that true? I did not know that. My early 20s, though... Oh, wait, sorry. I'm trying to catch up with chat here. Yo,
Davy Cliff super chatted $9.99. Yo, my boyfriend gave me the craziest sloppy. That's what I call Jewish excellence.
Here we go. And thank you for... I mean, like, that's one form of content slop, right? Oh my god, it won't show me the... I hate that I set everything up for to have the better camera today, and I wasn't able to use the camera due to frame rate mismatch. And now because of all the extra we'll just turn the camera hub off. I think that'll be okay. Because all the extra stuff I got running, now it's not showing me people's super chat, but regardless, Davy Cliff, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I remember, chat, we got, oh my god, let me move this so you can see it. Look at that. Bonus goal going up to 46%. Why am I pointing this out? Because not only am I offering you some extra content in terms of the bonus goal topics, but also, chat. Ah, damn it. I am fully kitted up. All right. I am sorry, kitted out. It's not kitted up. Chat corrected me on this. All right. I am fully kitted out for Songkran. And I am ready, willing, and able, I think, to take you with me for a little fun in the sun with a water gun. Yes, not just any water gun. This is like an official Songkran water gun, right? This is like other water guns. They don't work during Songkran. They're disabled through the magic of Songkran, right? But this one, chat, this one, look, let me show you how. Whoa! I just squirted myself. I just squirted myself a little bit, chat. Anyway, wow, that's thing. But anyway, this is what happens if we get 200. All right, we do Songkran live. About that. How you get stream? What's happened? I get squirted a lot, maybe. I didn't think I should have thought this through, chat. I should have excess lemon juice, excess garlic. Oh, in Sabra. Yeah, it is a little bit sour, isn't it? I think it's more than just lemon juice, though. I think they put something else in there. It means you are anti-Semitic now. If you don't like Sabra hummus, that's it. It's cooked with hate. That's why it gives you heartburn. Yeah. No, it's not JID as we say here. I make my own hummus. Hell yeah, Renato. I need to start as soon as I get into an apartment, chat. That's gonna be one of the first things. I'll do a cooking stream with you. How about that? Did AB actually quit, or was it just clickbait? Narwhal, I hate to break it to you, but yeah, it was clickbait. It was really bad clickbait too, right? AB wasn't even gone for the whole episode, right? I think AB got sick and left, and then they do the title as like Bon Voyage AB, and AB joins them in the second half of the show from his house. He feels a little bit better, so he calls in with his camera. Sabra is hated for a plethora of reasons, but it's easier for Zionists to blame anti-Semitism. Probably so. Sorry, just catching up with chat for a minute. My Jewish theater teacher didn't even eat Sabra. She ate some cheap. I swear to God, probably the cheaper generic stuff might be. But yes, yeah. For a not so great hummus, I feel like Sabra is kind of overpriced, right? It's one of the more expensive ones, and yet you're not. It's not one of the better ones. There's decent store-bought hummus out there, right? Sabra's just orange sludge. They sell it in big ass tin cans that people slap on week-old hoagie rolls. Damn. See, I'm getting heartburn even just hearing that, Shakespeare. Some things Ethan was so wrong about. I almost expected him to apologize, but he feels he has the right. He's right. Has to be right about everything. Yes. It's a combination of arrogance and ignorance. Ignorance and arrogance, and the two go hand in hand, and not in a good way. I'm trying to catch up. Also, since when are the Jewish people and the Arab people races? Yeah. We definitely. There are also, Arab people that are Jewish. Yeah. Good point, Shakespeare. Come to think of it, she did have Sabra that day and was like, blah, I miss Florida. Then they had the real hummus. The hummus. Here, you just have Sabra, and we were like, wait, is it not real? Denims was in that. Yeah, Joe, you're right. Yeah, Denims was in the Sabra category. I mean, as a joke, right? I mean, like, that shows you that there's the tier list is not silly. It's in jest. It's, and they're portraying it like that is some serious thing that they're trying to do. Oh, they're doing a racial tier list. They're doing a racial tier list. They're winking at you. They're doing, they're doing dog whistles. Made a snark comment and one post about where the wildfire donations went on the snark Reddit. They tried to oh, you got one of those letters. Oh no, Doan. Oh no, that's rough. Well, at least you got some help with your legal team. Or your work legal team. That's cool. People helped you out. That's nice. It annoys me when Hasan says he's not a big deal or is a dumb guy, but if he started talking about himself like Ethan is, I wouldn't be able to keep watching. Oh God, yeah, it's like, no, and I think Ethan's fairly, I don't think he's like I don't think he's doing it tongue in cheek, right? When Ethan says he's like the biggest Jewish content creator, which is just not right. It's just like so off. Like, and yeah, he's very much up his own ass. He's inflating his ego. He's up his ass, chat. Here's what he does, all right? He goes up his own ass, and then he blows hot air into it to inflate his ego. That's Ethan Klein. And yes, chat, I am invoking troll physics there. The plural of Sabra in Hebrew is Sabrot. I hope I pronounced that correctly, not Sabras. Isn't Denims on the love side? Yeah, exactly. Elated at being relevant again. Oh my God, chat is so active. I know it annoys some people when I spend too much time reacting. Is this to kill a marketing word said in a middle-aged queen voice? A fjord? I'm mispronouncing. It's fjord, isn't it? Yo! Thank you, whoever it is on Twitch, for the gift subs. Wait, does it? Joel, thank you for the gift subbies. You just got jellyfished. Sammy Kacha, you just got jellyfished. Tiny V Tiny, you just got jellyfished. Solid log. Oh, I miss having those. Chat, the food here in Thailand is very spicy. I'll just say that. Solid log 68. You just got jellyfished. And that's a good thing. Yeah, thank you for the jellyfish, Joel. Good to have you with us again. He obviously is just lazy and didn't do his research, to be honest, because Noah would have to stretch to make it seem that way anyway, since Ethan literally...
Davy Cliff super chatted $9.99. The biggest Jewish content creator. I think Steven Spielberg would have something to say to Ethan.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I'm sure that Ethan was thinking about... Wait, what are we up to? 86 now? Damn, chat, you're going to get that Songkran goal. You're going to get me out in the street with my selfie stick and my my Songkran water blaster. Wow. That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun. But thank you, Davy Cliff, for the super chat. Thank you, Joel, for the gifted jellyfish. So many people in Twitch chat just got jellyfished. And chat, I will let you know that, yeah, like some of the things about the stream are still not ideal yet. I tried to plug in the better camera. I don't have that. I do have my lighting, so you'll notice my lighting is better today. So that's good. The other thing that we're missing is me being able to see what's going on Twitch, which will happen as soon as I can plug it, as I can get my desktop set up. But yeah, that's coming soon. I do have an HDMI cable now, so that should be on its way as well. And thank you everybody for having faith in me, even as I downgrade the quality of my stream in order to move to Thailand. Lost the trans friend I mentioned earlier due to being sent to prison for a copyright thing? Damn. Use a picture of the Edmonds Fitzgerald because this video is a shipwreck, Biva. That's the quote of the day so far. Oh yeah, Ethan's got like a 7-minute, is it like a 7-minute video of him saying the N-word or something? Pine for the fjords. That's how it's pronounced, right, chat? It's fjord, not fjord. I think that I'm pronouncing it in an overly American way. Glad I checked on Mudahar over a year ago. Wait, what is this? Trying to catch myself back up with chat here and read out any super chats that I missed reading. No mention of VO on that ban list. Oh, from Think Before You Sleep. There's no content argument here. I don't know what he is saying, honestly. Sweeping for Ethan. Davy Cliff with the super chat. Yo, my boyfriend gave me the craziest sloppy, and that's what I call Jewish excellence. Yes, that's the kind of content, like as I said before, that's the kind of content slop I can get on board with. Okay, just scrolling down because I know chat wants me to get back to the content. Want to make sure I'm reading the super chat. Les super chat. Super shot? Oh my gosh, I just said super cat accidentally. 24-hour cooking stream? But yeah, we might. I could do 24 hours of cooking. Yeah, if I was gonna do what is it called? Like a subathon? I feel like cooking would have to be part of it. Because I love cooking. And there's so much for me to work with here, chat. There's so much for me to learn about, too. There's vegetables I've never seen before in my life that I'm eating now. And most of them are spicy as fuck. Oh my god, I want a grass house, too. Wait, how did I miss the second? Oh, put them towards NSR. Gotcha, Joel. It took me that. See, this is why it's important for me to scroll down and see what people are saying in chat. Put it towards NSR. Look at that. NSR has now got 33%. Okay, Davy Cliff. The biggest Jewish content creator, I think, would have to be Steven Spielberg. I think Steven Spielberg would have something to say. Yeah. And even if he's saying about YouTube or if he's saying about the internet, right? He's just not right on any front, right? Like, and what the fucking gall of this guy? The gall of this guy to say that he's the biggest Jewish content creator. Like, what the fuck? You're just erasing, like, I don't know, 30 people that are bigger than you. If you get a DMCA letter from about the clips from non-member podcast, link him to the H3 podcast Off the Rails. Oh, yeah, where he does say that he's opening the IP. Yeah, well, yeah, and the only caveat, Snow, that Snow's mentioning where Ethan said that he's, has given people the permission to use his content, probably in the context of, him getting, content claimed himself. But the only caveat that he's ever given about that.
Davy Cliff super chatted $9.99. Yo NCC, hope good day.
Hope good day indeed. Well, it's starting to be one, Chad. It might be a really good day if we end up in the streets. Look at that, 96% of the way towards the bonus goal. And again, that 200 level today will get you a Songkran stream. I think I'm ready to do it. But wait, so Snow is saying, yeah, thank you, Davy, for the super chat. So yeah, like I was saying, the only caveat that Ethan has ever given about content that he doesn't want people to use is his members only content. Like, he has said that if you use a members only stream to own him, that that he will come after you. But yeah, no, he basically opened his IP. It sounds like. New NSR video is gonna piss Ethan the fuck off. I mean, he does have a special hatred in his heart for Comrade Casey. Who do you think Ethan hates the most? But with the, like who do you think it, like, obviously Hasan, right? But who's second place? Is it Comrade Casey? Is it Frogan? Is it the person from TikTok? God damn, chat is on fire today. Love the Walter Goggins Google glasses. Wait, does Walter Goggins wear these? These are actually for Songkran, chat. These are to protect my eyes from getting squirted with a possibly water that might have been filled up from a puddle. It might have amoeba. I don't know, chat. I don't know. Set up a new org and pseudonym for that current publishing. So new accounts need to make another. Wait, are you saying a new org, like a White Leaf but good, basically? Waluigi approves. Waluigi approves. Oh, sweet. Songkran is actually aligned to the sun passing in Aries. And there's a. Yeah, it's New Year here. Yeah, it's 2568 to be specific. So jealous? Well, don't worry. If we hit 200, I'll bring you along with me. Hope it's a good day. Thank you, Davy Cliff, for the super chat. And then, wait, did I put that? Wait, I think there's one more, right, that I didn't put on. It should be like, we're at 101. Is that right? Is my math correct? If my math is wrong, it's usually because I'm missing something. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with that and say that we're at. Isn't Casey Neistat way bigger than Ethan? Yeah, Casey Neistat. There's a list of like 29 other people. At least I think I'm probably underestimating. Spielberg been real quiet since the content nuke dropped. Yo, Woody Allen has. There we go. There's the super chat I need to read. Davy Cliff with the super chat. Woody Allen has words for Ethan Klein. Oh my god. I mean, yeah. If we're gonna talk about content, then yeah, all media. You think it's Frogan? Nina says it's Frogan that is hated the most by Ethan. Ethan hates himself. Poopy hates Poopy. Another vote for Frogan. Another vote for Frogan. Mike from PA. He does hate Mike from PA. They wrote a theme song from Mike for PA. He had Zach do a theme song. He didn't call for. Oh, that's right. He called Denim's a bitch, and in like a really hostile, angry like way. He like lost his shit. Like, you know what I mean? There's one thing. Look, chat. If you want to say like, I don't know, I'm trying to remember. Like Francesca called Jink a bitch. But it's not like she's like, you're a bitch. She was like, Jink, you're being a bitch, right? Like this is bitch made behavior that you're displaying, and you know that's just it's a little different when you're using the word bitch to put a woman in her place, right? That's a different bitch altogether. Wait, his number 2 most hated? Is that what you're saying, Shakespeare? Is California CBS? Oh my god. He did have some hatred for CBS for sure. Poopy gave 2 caveats. So 1, can't upload entire episodes. Oh, okay. And 2, can't clip members only. Oh god. Damn, Snow, you got the receipts. Damn, chat, I'm impressed. Those are like, that's like, you got the dates of everything. Amoeba, hardly newer. Oh. Missed my tasteless Woody Allen joke. No, I got to it, but I'm so far behind. I'm just trying to catch up here. He does really hate denims. He really does. He loses it on denims. 64 on YouTube. So whatever the other part is, well, yeah, the other part is what, like, well, we're at least at 94 then. I feel like we're at 101. Anyway, chat, I trust that we will end up over 100. And hey, maybe even here, let me do the bonus goal. All right, let me change this to 200. And now, look, chat, so we earned the bonus content, all right? Now, it is not just a bonus goal. It's a Songkran goal. What do you think about that? Do you think people will know what that's about? Okay, if anybody comes in and asks, like, what is the Songkran goal? What does that mean? Like, explain it to them, chat. It's a water fight. The water fight, like, it's like, do you want to see me get over my head in a water fight against all kinds of tourists and all kinds of Thai people out in the streets? Do you want to see me, spraying down trucks coming by? You can say the B word with a hard B, or the hard BI, like the hard buy. Tell me more about this hard buy, and thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I think that's right. 106 out of 200. Damn. All right, so anyone notice since the denims is a bitch, Crash Out Poopy checked in with Dan to see how far he could take. Oh yeah, no, and Dan's trying to save him from himself half the time. Mission: get Irene wet. Yeah, and also I need to get some food too, so I'll go get food. I'll also eat street food while I'm out there because I'm gonna need. That's the only way I can get food right now. Everything is closed, chat. Everything is closed, but the street food. So we'll get some mango. We'll get maybe some roasted sweet potatoes if we can find the roasted purple sweet potatoes. Those are really good. Maybe some fried corn even. Hell, chat, I'm hungry. So yeah, I might even go for fried corn. Anyway, chat, I had to get through chat, but I'm caught up now. So let's finish this video.
This video and aren't ideologically possessed, you can pretty easily notice that Noah does basically everything that he accuses Ethan of. This is a repeated tactic that he uses in a lot of his content, and I mean that it is uncanny how much important context that Noah either removes or completely leaves out for the purpose of radicalizing his audience.
I'm sorry, what? What? You think that Noah is doing, like, every accusation is an admission? You think that Noah's the one who's doing... You're talking about Ethan Klein, Think Before You Sleep, and you think Noah's the one that's projecting? Wow. Chat, this is like meta projection. I don't even know. I've never seen anything like this before.
And enraging them against his enemies. For example, a part of Noah's video was about people rightfully complaining that Hasan has violated Twitch rules numerous times by doing things like promote.
Here's the thing. If you got a problem with that, your problem is with Twitch, all right? And there is a problem. The problem is that larger content creators who make a lot of money for Twitch get treated with kid gloves a lot of times compared to smaller content creators. This is a problem that people like Frogan have been on the, on the bad end of, right? This is not, Hasan's only getting treated, a little bit with kid gloves because he's a larger content creator, but that goes for Asmongold, that goes for like anybody.
Promoting a terrorist organization.
Dan Clancy right now, right? We haven't really talked about this because I don't think it was that great of content, but Ethan Klein brought up the fact that Dan Clancy is trying to bring back Aiden Ross. Why does Dan Clancy want to bring back Aiden Ross? Ethan has described Clancy and his Twitch regime as ideologues, as far left ideologues, and yet the guy wants to bring back Aiden Ross. Do you think that's because of politics, or do you think that might be for financial reasons, which Dan Clancy has denied? But no, this is the leak that happened on Twitch, is that they apparently had a meeting allegedly in which Dan Clancy was trying to convince the rest of the Twitch team, to bring Aiden Ross back.
And he's only gotten a 1-day ban for it, and only after Twitch started getting bad press. Yet Asmongold has a single moment where he said some bad stuff, and he got a 14-day ban.
He said
in
some
his video,
bad
Noah
stuff.
talks about this.
He said some bad stuff. He said that people's culture was inferior. No, he said some Nazi stuff is what he said. And implied that they deserve G-side because of it. That's what he said. Holy shit. The thing that should debunk your argument, you've now incorporated into your argument. This is a big Katamari ball of lies. That is the kind of streamer that the kind of content creator that we're dealing with here, right, chat? This is a Katamari ball of lies.
For it, and only after Twitch started getting bad press. Yet Asmongold has a single moment where
Rick Scott?
By doing things like promoting a terrorist organization.
Oh my god, he was like, yeah, join the Houthis. Join Ansar Allah. Hey, all my chat, come and join up with this terror. Right? You could go on helicopters and you can pirate ships, like, right? Join the Houthis. Like, that was Hasan's thing. Here, we got a sign up link in the chat, like here, let me pin that link so that you can sign up for Ansar Allah. Like, what the fuck? Promoting, like, I'm sorry, what?
And he's only gotten a 1-day ban for it, and only after Twitch started getting bad press.
Wait, people should saying. I thought for a second there, I thought that Think More Seriously was actually advocating for harm against a member of Congress. Was why he got the 1-day ban, when in reality he didn't say that. When in reality he didn't say you should do anything to Rick Scott. He was saying that if the Republicans were true to their word, that they would do that.
Davy Cliff super chatted $9.99. Asman is literally the most openly anti-Semitic Twitch streamer.
Oh yeah, no, he's let the Nazis in his chat know that he's on their side. He is straight up dog. You want to talk about a dog whistle? Saying that you think there's a 99% chance that the Holocaust actually happened. That's the way that Asmongold signals to the Nazis in his audience with that plausible deniability that he needs to avoid a ban. Yeah. Asman brought up Nick Fuentes as being popular recently. So gross. Oh god, yeah, he's fucking clout chasing Fuentes. But then again, that's his audience. That's the kind of person, that's the kind of viewer he's going for. That's his audience avatar, chat. It says Nick Fuentes fan, a groiper. Ethan literally just brought his children. Oh yeah, people were giving him credit. I can't remember who it was, but for not using his children as a prop. I can't remember what context that was in. But then, he just did it. He just literally brought his kids on stream. When Love asked him about, oh no. Wait, Ethan made a Pizzagate joke with his kids there? Ethan made a diddling joke with his kids there? What's wrong with this guy? Like, dude, you can be an edgelord, you can be a father, but please try not to, like, Try not to be an edgelord father if you can help it. God, it's a bad combination.
Yes. Yet Asmongold has a single moment where he said some bad stuff, and he got a 14-day
they cut it from
ban.
the VOD.
In his video, Noah talks about this ban and shows a clip of Asmongold saying some messed up things.
Asmongold made some comments that explicitly...
Lady Badash, we missed you too. Good to have you in chat. On this festive Songkran celebration.
Justified Israel's genocide of Palestinians in Gaza.
I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. They come from an inferior culture. I don't feel...
No, we gotta go past this. Yeah, that's bad. I do not agree with what he just said. That should be obvious to anybody watching, but if it's not obvious to anybody moderating this content, just like understand that that's the context. We present this in an educational context of debunking, hate speech like what Asmongold just said that he rightfully caught a ban from Twitch for although gotta point out that it's less than half the time that Frogan and company got banned.
If you only saw that, you would think that Asmongold is a horrible person. This is the obvious conclusion.
But Asmongold is a horrible person? Even his dead rat agrees, chat. Even his dead rat agrees. Even he agrees on some level.
Conclusion that anyone would come to if you don't know much else about him, which probably describes most of Noah's
Davy
audience.
Cliff super chatted $9.99. Harmless PDF file jokes with the kids very Catholic of Ethan.
So uncomfortable, but yeah, this is like, I don't know. Content has broken Ethan's brain. Asmongold 100% is, yeah. That says Seattle Scotty. But thank you for the super chat. Very Catholic of you to pay your tithing. Yeah, there we go. I don't know, chat. I had to come up with something.
Famously apologized for these statements. Now, since 2 years ago, Noah boasted about his expertise in media literacy, I imagine that Noah didn't show Asmongold's apology so that his audience would believe that Asmon is evil. And to be more clear, Noah definitely knows what he's doing. He's not an idiot. He left that apology out on purpose.
Is Asmon evil? That's a really good question. Like, the effect of Asmongold having such a large platform and doing with it what he does is evil, but it's hard to really know what to attribute to malice or to evil and what to attribute to just a profound ignorance. And somebody being completely out of his lane. Like, his lane is maybe World of Warcraft. I don't even know if he's good at that. But, I mean, that's what he got famous for, apparently.
To further radicalize his audience. There's no way that Noah didn't know about that apology, because not only was it a huge event on his part of the internet, but also that video of Mutahars that he sourced mentioned it. So, because in my opinion, Noah left that apology out intentionally, allow me to play some of it for the people who haven't seen it yet.
A couple of days ago, I made some comments about
I gotta wonder, alright, what's going on with Asmongold's webcam here? He normally doesn't look like this. Is he shooting with his cell phone and it's just like smudgy or something? What's going on? Why are we getting Jesus? Like, it's like Jesus returned to Earth after he's been crucified and he's like glowing and shit. Asmon Jesus, like, oh my god, no, literally, this is after the ban. Yo, I bet that's how his chat thinks of him too. Maybe he did this on purpose. He was like
Palestine and also about Hamas and, some just general, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. Everybody who's come and spoken out and talked to me and said
what's going on? What's going on?
I want to say that I really appreciate you. And I think this has been something that's a long time coming.
Unless your name is Hasan Piker. And you offered the mildest criticism possible, for something fucking ridiculous. Yeah, unless you're Hasan Pi. Everybody else, though, massive appreciation. Yeah, right. And Asman Rats, stand back and stand by. Oh my god, come on. Play the video.
And I actually think that this is something that
oh my god, it's
not only I deserved, but it's also something that I needed.
This.
Now, is it possible that this clip might make some of Noah's audience feel less negatively towards Asmongold? One would think. I mean, I don't like Frogan, but I'm not such a jackass that I wouldn't at least mention that
please,
she apologized, sort of, for saying that U.S. soldiers deserve PTSD. So again, I think Noah leaves this stuff out on purpose. This is not... She apologized, sort of, for saying that U.S. soldiers deserve PTSD. So again, I think Noah leaves this stuff out.
A weird world that we live in where somebody's saying that somebody's saying what Frogan said. Wait, Frogan didn't get banned for that, did she? No, Frogan got banned for the Sabra thing. Like, I don't know how much this guy is ignorant. Think before you sleep, I'm talking about how much he's lazy. Like, I don't know where his mistakes are coming from, right? Because there's the ignorance explanation, there's the laziness explanation. I'm not sure which is right. It looked like natural sunlight. I know he allegedly spent his time cleaning. Maybe he kept the window closed normally, but was wanting to show off no cockroaches. Maybe there was actually light coming into the window because he cleaned it. That's my idea. Anyway, that's my hypothesis. Camera looks like Ted Cruz was in his room too. Just watching Brittany Simon, where she says, never trust a white man that looks like Jesus. That's a good advice, possibly. That's good advice, maybe, from Brittany Simon. He looks like Jesus and Russell Brand. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's why this is such good advice. It was from the... Wait, that she got banned? She got banned from the... I know the PTSD thing was about soldiers, but I thought she got banned for the Sabra list. It's Asman, not the camera, says Davy Cliff. That's just what white people look like. Oh. Oh, so you're saying there's a filter on there before, maybe. Speaking of filters, chat, when I finally get my camera set up, it looks like it's got loots. It's looking like I can do some color grading to the stream, which is going to be very excited for. But yeah, thank you, Davi, for the super chat. Let's finish as much of this video as we can. We've got another video to watch that's actually a good video after the bad video. We got a palette cleanser. In terms of a good...
on purpose. This is not a
good video essay about Ethan Klein.
About moral consistency or good faith interaction. This is a game to him, and he's doing this stuff as like a sort of propaganda tactic to win whatever battle he thinks he's in. Or he's being paid to be this bad faith.
Paid?
Though I have to say that Noah has gotten a lot more effective at propaganda and audience manipulation over the past year. Someone's been...
Am I about to hear an allegation that Noah Samsen is getting Al Jazeera money? Is that what I'm going to hear?
Practicing. I actually had to put effort into counter-arguing this time because he's trickier now. There were a lot of subtleties that I missed on the first watch. Probably the most effective tactic that Noah uses to encourage racism is emotional pulls. In writing, the way that you compel the audience to emotionally care about your characters is to give them a backstory that describes their relationships, their hopes and dreams, and their struggles. Also, if you can accurately align the aspects of your character...
Yeah, Hasan said it was because veterans are a protected group. Yeah, in anti-discrimination law, chat, if you don't know, this is what Mermaid is talking about here, that veterans are considered a protected class. Twitch, when they came up with their hate speech policy, they centered it around like protected classes, and of which veterans are one, so that got thrown in there. And then so people are saying that is, yeah, what Frogan did was, technically TOS according to Twitch's rules. Yeah, it's true, but my understanding was that that Frogan's ban was officially due to the Sabra tier list, right? Unless there was another ban that I'm not aware of. Are there two? Maybe Manic Mermaid. Maybe this was another band. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make myself some
character's
coffee.
backstory with common experiences that your audience has had, they'll get even more emotionally attached to the person that you're talking about. Character backstories are how you can be sad at the idea of a person like John Wick dying, but you don't care about the hundreds of nameless people that he kills throughout the movie. You have the details on John Wick, but you never see random hitman.
Can you like not show copyrighted videos?
And number 87's backstory and how the people in his life might deal with his death. This means that John Wick is humanized, but the random hitman isn't. He's just a number, and that's done on purpose so the audience won't care about him. On the other side of humanization through backstory, you can also dehumanize a character and make the audience hate them by only showing their bad deeds. That being said, Noah...
Yeah, this is wild because, you know, this is shit that you're only seeing Think Before You Sleep apply to, I don't know... Asmongold, Ethan Klein, you know, whoever he's sweeping for at the moment. And, you know, he's just been in rampant violation on so many other levels.
Is aware of this aspect.
Massively hypocritical, in other words.
Aspect of human psychology, which is why he spends what feels like most of the 2 videos on Ethan Klein telling stories about the hardships that the Palestinians have faced, and he even says that some of them are his friends. This is to get the audience to care about Palestine on an emotional level, which is fine, he can do that. And it does sound like innocent Palestinians have faced some pretty
Chat, how would we compare Think Before You Sleep to Rudyard? Right, because definitely in terms of the video essay technique, it's very similar. In fact, I don't know if one of these guys influenced the other. Maybe would it be What If Alt Hiss the older YouTube channel? But yeah, What If Alt Hiss, like a lot of his stock images are just are actually stock video, right? Whereas this guy just uses like it's a slideshow. It looks like a vacation slideshow. It looks like somebody showing you pictures of their last vacation, or you know, like right. That's what we're getting here. But who do you think is how would we compare the two? Because like the writing is similar. The writing is actually really similar.
horrible atrocities like having family members die, being crippled, or being sexually assaulted. It's always terrible when innocent people are hurt in the crossfire of war, which is why I'm very anti-war and very against the use of violent tactics. However, remember that Noah's biggest criticism of Ethan Klein is that Ethan was lying by omission by not telling the Palestine side of the war. Well, this war is a two-way street, and both sides have done some pretty awful things. The problem here is that Noah only tells the Palestinian side of the story.
$9.99. Don't disrespect Rudyard like that. He is straight cooking.
So, like, even comparing the two, maybe defamation against Rudyard. Wait, why am I not seeing this come up? Yeah, there we go. Don't disrespect Rudyard like that. He is straight cooking. Wait, so Rudyard is cooking, but so Rudyard, we're saying Rudyard is on a whole nother level. Have you seen the video by Paul something or other about this garbage debater? Elizar? No. Paul's ego, maybe? Is it Paul's ego? I'm trying to think of the Pauls I know. I feel like in fact I feel like I do kind of I feel like maybe Paul's ego is aware of NCC. Am I wrong about that? I don't know, Chad. For some reason well, we know Gokunaru is. That's the more important thing. Gokunaru is aware of us, so shouts out. Friend of the VOD. I feel like he was correcting chatters that were saying it because of Sabra. Sabra may have also been considered really? Not sure, but at the same time, ban though as far as the timeline. Rudyard is God compared to this generic neocon. Yeah, I will say that Rudyard's a probably more interesting individual. I'd say there's more intricacies to the character that is Rudyard Lynch. Then with sleep, think before you sleep. Sleep before you think. Sleep before you think. That's what we're calling him now. Thank you, Ethan Klein. You are my best friend.
Narwhal _ super chatted $10. They are similar in that the essays are like 92% fantasy narrative with 8% corroborating evidence that somehow never helps them.
Okay, so
instead of maps, we're getting strangely disturbing stock photos.
So I'm onto something. Yeah. Their format is similar. Their writing is similar. But Davi does make a good point that, you can't compare them in terms of the level of the, there's like a mythic level on which Rudyard is some kind of a bizarre sacred monster that this guy does not match. So I think both of you are right. I think both of you have a point. Thank you, Davi and Narwhal, for these super chats. And we are 150 out of 200 on our way to a Songkran stream. If we're going to hit that, though, I got to make sure we have enough time. We'll watch a little bit more of this, and then we'll switch to the good video. And then we'll do the bonus content, and then we'll go out and blast some people on the street with the water gun, of course, not with anything else.
Well, at the same time, this is how he represents the Israelis.
There's a comment I saw on Ethan Klein's video. It read, "I feel like a lot of people can't separate Israelis and the Israeli government, and the same with the other side. Like you are allowed to hate on the people who actually kill people and not hate the innocent adults and children that are being killed from both sides. This is a popular framing among liberals and liberal outlets that we should separate the Israeli people from the actions of their government. While there are some examples from the past where this may be true, such as the case of the American public's attitudes towards the end of the Vietnam War, which diverged from their government, the same cannot be said in the case of Israel. The vast majority of the Israeli public supports this genocide. Months into the genocide, polling showed that over 95% of Jewish Israelis supported the IDF's actions, with a majority of those indicating that the IDF was not using enough force in Gaza.
Wait, I got that thank you Ethan reference right? Wait, the song is fire. Wait, is there a thing? Like, are you talking about like the Good Moves Ethan song, Joshua? If there's a reference in there, I want to make sure I get it. Paul goes by Swolidarity. Oh, I don't know if I know about Swolidarity. He's an anarchist and pretty chill. To be honest, I just talked to him today. Nice. I'll have to check out Swolidarity is what you're saying, right? Rudyard is like a Victorian noble going to destroy his brain. This guy is just a nerd. Damn. Yeah, Rudyard is like... Rudyard brings us to a catharsis of pity and fear in a way that I don't think this guy ever could. Sleep before you
the
think.
Force in question there being, genocide. They wanted
How
more.
much mercury?
This should come as no surprise, given Israel's history. A country that exists on the logic of ethnic supremacy and colonization requires a certain level of dehumanization to keep its inhabitants from collapsing under the weight of the reality of their rotten society.
Yeah, so those were some harsh words. Someone with 6,000 likes on his comment tries to humanize the innocent on both sides, while rightfully aiming blame at the evil people who are actually causing the war. Yet Noah takes the radical approach and...
It's just unhelpful, right? To say that there's bad people on both sides, it's unhelpful. It's so... Yeah, like, they think that they're doing something. Really what they're doing is they're virtue signaling. Hey, I don't like anything bad, no matter who's doing it. I'm against the bad stuff. If we could just stop the bad stuff, and never minding that there is an order of operations to this, to the conflict, right? And that order of operations, starts with Palestinian people being dispossessed. And if you're not getting that, then I'm sorry, you're not on the right side of history. You're not doing the good thing by saying, I disavow bad shit. I wish we could have more good shit on both sides. More hugs, more love, more understanding, more empathy, rather than realizing that on one side, you've got a organic response to oppression, and on the other side, you've got oppression that's being backed by the largest military force in the fucking world. These are not equal sides. This is not a symmetrical conflict. Symmetrical? Is that even a word?
Dehumanizes one side by saying, actually, the Israelis are evil and rotten. Noah spends quite a bit of time establishing that basically
even Uncle Jink has more moderate views on Israel than Noah. Wait. I'm sorry. Why are you? Wait. Why is he called look, chat. Jink gets called Uncle Jink. I guess maybe by the TYT audience when he does like a unk kind of thing. When he acts like a boomer. He gets called Uncle Jink, understandably, by Hasan Piker, because he literally is his uncle. But why is sleep before you think calling him uncle? This isn't like a comparison of Jink to a Harriet Beecher Stowe character, is it? I can't tell.
Not some, but basically all Jews in Israel are a bunch of murderers. Now, by comparison, Ethan just said there were some terrorist groups that he didn't like, but a lot of innocent people have suffered on both sides, and maybe the Israelis in the...
there's some terrorist groups out there that I really don't like. I'm not such a fan. Bold statement, Ethan, bold statement. Wow.
Palestinians could figure out a peaceful two-state solution. On the other hand, Noah spends the entire time in both of his videos making the...
I'm sorry. It's a profoundly ignorant statement from somebody that has already said he does not care about the conflict. He is willing to just throw up his hands and saying, pox on both of your houses. Both sides are bad. Both sides are wrong. I will ride this fence until the post is literally up my ass.
The Israelis look like the most evil scumbags in the world. I can only imagine that he's doing this with the intent of making his audience violent. Noah continues his anti-Israel messaging by showing...
You got it. Noah wants to make his audience violent. Like his audience. That's my big fear, chat. That's my big fear as a content creator, that the violent Noah Samsen audience will come after me, that I will offer some missive that is taken as an insult to the crazed Noah Samsen fans, and they will fucking come for me. IRL chat. They'll be at Songkran. They'll blast me with I don't know, bad water or something. And
a few interviews of Israeli citizens and their thoughts on Palestinians.
Another way to get a handle on the seemingly ubiquitous genocidal fervor among Israelis is by just talking to them.
How many civilians have been killed in Gaza, from what you know?
Who gives a shit?
Okay, but don't you feel like, for example, children?
Children grow up to be Arabs. I read the numbers last week. My memory died and went to heaven. I don't think children should suffer, but they're always casualties. And since they do a lot of pour-vu, that is an...
Do you see what I was saying, Chad, earlier about the but? Like, right now, I don't think that all but statements mean that the thing that came before the but was bullshit. But I think there is a certain kind of but statement that fits that pattern, and there it is. Now, I don't want, for innocent people to die, but they do grow up to be Arabs. Right? Like, what the fuck? What are you saying, lady? What are you saying? In her mind, the class of Arab and the class of innocent, they are Venn diagrams where there's no overlap. Right? If you're innocent, then you can't be Arab. If you're Arab, then you can't be innocent. So therefore, children children are innocent, right? We have to classify them somehow as not Arab until they grow up. Look at this logic. Look at this logic. What is he going to say about this? What is sleep before you think what is his complaint going to be here?
Natural result.
Most of the kids there that are getting killed, I never support little children dying. I never want to. But
yeah, chat, did I ever say? I think it's time that I mention I'm against bad things. I don't like it when bad things happen. I'm against that. I'm not about that. I like good things, not bad things. But you have to crack a few eggs to make a few omelets. Well, I mean that's just the culinary arts, I guess. I don't know. What are we saying here? What are we fucking saying?
Most of them will grow up not only supporting Hamas, which is a crime by itself, but joining them, which is the worst.
What accent is this, chat? This is a British accent, right?
The worst.
These people
I can't tell. I can't tell. Wait, is that a combination British-American accent that I just heard? Yeah, I'm sorry, chat. I'm like fascinated by this guy's accent.
Most of the kids there that are getting killed, I never support little children dying. You know, I never want it. But most of them will grow up not only supporting Hamas, which is a crime.
Yeah. That way of dropping a G. That's not like an American dropping a G. You know, drop. That's, I don't know, chat. I'm sorry. I'm like,
crime by itself. But
it's an American British accent, which interestingly enough, in no way resembles Andrew Tate's. Right.
Joining them, which is the worst of the worst.
These people know that they're on camera and that these remarks will be posted on the internet or shared on the mainstream news. This is normal to them. This is normal in their society, which is a testament to the fact that their society is not normal. Simply put, it's a genocidal society, top to bottom.
Now, I can agree that those are some very harsh words. However, people don't just say horrible things like this without a reason. Does Noah try to show...
Oh my god! Yo, we do the backstory for the genocide lady. We gotta do the backstory for the lady that says, well, the children do grow up to be Arabs, so they're... Like, right, you know, we gotta be empathetic. Well, is there a reason for her thinking this? I mean, you know, it's like...
Why the Israelis are saying these things in an attempt to maybe add some nuance and not do the exact same thing that he accused Ethan Klein of? No,
he
nuance.
Doesn't.
No one ever asked why Jewish people would say this stuff. Well, as someone who did basic research on this, maybe it has something to do with Hamas massacring people on October 7th. Like Noah, it turns out that I also happen to have a friend who lives in the area, so I thought I'd ask him about the Jewish perspective on why Israelis being interviewed in those clips said what they said. This was his response, and yeah, having missiles fired at you daily probably would make most people mad. My Israeli friend also notes that if there was peace...
And so therefore saying genocidal shit, excusing the murder of children, is okay if you got missiles lobbed at you with no guidance that landed, for the most part, nowhere near anyone. That's okay. That's understandable then. That's understandable. But let's not try to understand where those missiles are coming from and why they're being fired. Let's not try to understand that. No, we only have this excess of empathy for, you know, genocidal statements from, you know, from one god. He's not even doing his fence writing right. I mean, he's betraying what the fence writing really is about, which is, you know, siding with the status quo, right? This is the neutrality, you know, in the face of oppression is actually siding with the oppression.
Feelings that the Israelis have towards the Palestinians would go away. And here's the thing. After talking to that friend, I went and watched the video that Noah took those interviews from, and it turns out that these people actually do say why they have such harsh feelings towards Palestinians, and Noah just cut around that. So let's add it back.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is the first guy to give the Israeli perspective. There we go. Yeah. So he's gonna show us the backstory to the genocide lady. That's great. I'm so glad. I'm so happy to know her backstory, like her super villain origin story. She wasn't always like this. Guy sounds like Roger from American Dad a little bit. Yeah, he does a little bit. Thank you for the super chat, Davi. Israel controls the tap. Yeah, the water, the electricity. Yep. Access to international aid. They have, like, you know, destroyed the medical, educational infrastructure. That's a Canadian. Oh, his accent is Canadian. Sleep before you think says.
Back in.
Overall, the world does not really understand what's going on here. They do not grasp the concept that Israel was attacked.
You know, everything is happening because of a group called Hamas, you know? Most of them, like around 75-ish%, despise Israel with everything that they hate about the world. Like, they hate everything about Israel. They don't want anything to do with us. They want us all dead, gone, and fucking, you know, they want my head on a spike. All they see in their head is just eliminating every single human being that doesn't support.
I'm sorry, but what is Israel doing right now in Gaza? Oh yeah, eliminating every single human being.
You know, Islam. That's not
literally cutting the grass, mowing the grass is one euphemism that's been used by Israeli government officials to describe the intentional reduction of the Palestinian population out of quote unquote demographic concerns. Chat, these people are more far gone than American Nazis, right? American Nazis that will talk about the demographic danger of allowing immigration, right? But these, here there's already a campaign to reduce those numbers.
Islamic. It's not Muslim.
Well, that changes things, doesn't it? Sure, they said some messed up things,
that sure
but if
changes
Hamas wasn't
my mind.
also attacking innocent people...
Wow, I guess these pieces of shit really aren't pieces of shit after all. Wow.
They wouldn't have those beliefs. Oh, wait, it looks like Noah does show someone saying why she feels so negatively towards the Palestinians. Except it's in a foreign language, so people have to read subtitles. This means that if they're multitasking while watching...
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. So wait, what was Noah's... Noah didn't dub this lady over? Noah didn't find somebody with a, like, Israeli accent to like, to dub in, like this woman's voice? Like, Noah didn't dub in like a stereotypical Israeli accent, and so like Noah bad. People might have been getting some sawing done. They were sawing. They were in their tool shed sawing away, and they looked down and they never saw. They just heard a bunch of Israeli words that they didn't. Or sorry, Israeli. They were a bunch of. Well, actually, I don't know what language. If she's speaking, I'm assuming Hebrew. That they didn't understand, and therefore Noah bad. Okay.
In his video, which is very common with viewers, they won't see this added nuance. This is why when I make videos, I almost always repeat what the subtitles say if people are speaking in a foreign language. What Noah is doing here is something that I call a plausible deniability clause, where a dishonest creator will add nuance
Shut up.
to make it look like they're being fair, but do so in such a way that nobody will notice it. This is so if someone criticizes Noah, he can say, "No, I put that in the video," while at the same time, basically none of his audience caught it, so he won't have to risk them being swayed by
She is speaking in Hebrew.
nuance that isn't good for his point. I actually didn't notice what this person said until my second watch. Also, here's the thing. I'm aware that Noah loves to misrepresent people, and I'm guessing that he didn't expect anyone to actually go fact-check the material that he used, which is reasonable. A lot of creators are lazy. But since I actually watched the full video...
You don't say. Guy that freaked out about Noah Samsen having Ethan's picture, in his thumbnail, and implied that he had scoured Ethan's content to try to find a picture that makes him look like he's doing a Sig Heil, right? When it's literally from the video that Noah is responding to. You don't say that some content creator, as we look at the stock footage that you have inserted in place of any actual visual data for your video, right? I feel like honestly, chat, I'm going to have to retcon what I said earlier, right? Adding Subway Surfers as your background visual would have been less lazy than what this guy's done, right? There, at least you have to do some editing and stuff and, decide like, okay, we're starting here, we're stopping there. This is just slideshow. He's literally inserted a slideshow in place of any real, real craft of a YouTuber.
I know that Noah basically only showed the most inflammatory things that were said. If you actually watch the video, you can see multiple Israelis sympathizing with the Palestinians. Here's one of them.
Thoughts and prayers, chat. Thoughts and prayers.
Aside from Hamas, don't hate us Jews. We're really nice people, and we love life.
We want peace. We just want peace, love, and rock and roll.
Yeah, man.
Okay, wait, and you're willing to have peace with Palestinians?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, anytime. Anytime. Send with anybody, anywhere. If they want peace, we want.
If they will just leave Palestine, we will have peace, right? And could you just leave the key to your house in the door while you're at it? That would be nice too.
So Noah,
it's really hard to, as Eris pointed out, it's really hard to find an affordable apartment in Tel Aviv. So if you could just leave your keys behind as well, that would be great.
As a journalist who's claiming to be more honest than these mainstream news outlets, why didn't you show this interview? Why did you only show the worst parts of this video?
Before you sleep.
And for the people who did say bad stuff, why don't you cover what made them so radicalized against the Palestinians? Maybe discuss whether their feelings are justified or not.
And again, it's funny how quickly and lazily this video is put together, where he doesn't think that is a logic that you could apply to him as well, right? His analysis of the evil terrorist Palestinians is lacking of any attempt to understand where a militant resistance movement could have come from, what could have caused that, what could have led up to that. This historical there's I don't mean to quote, what is this? Is it Comrade Casey that said historical analysis and now Ethan can't shut up about it? Was it that a Comrade Casey?
Based on factual reporting of the events. This is what an honest person who wanted a more peaceful outcome would do. Making no effort to humanize the Israelis or add nuance to their beliefs kind of makes it seem like you don't want a peaceful solution. It kind of makes it seem like you want violence.
Davy
On
Cliff
top of
super
that,
chatted
Noah is so shameless in these videos that
$9.99. Rudyard would have the balls to just say that they are winning, so they're right. I'm honestly offended you compared my favorite Kurtime addict to this guy.
There is a comparison, all right? But you're pointing out accurately, Davy, the limits of that comparison. And I thank you for that. Yeah, it's definitely a limited comparison at best. There's a lot of ways in which these two content creators are utterly incomparable. Perfectly timed sound? Yeah, I know. I don't know, chat. We got another video to watch, and then we're gonna do some bonus content, and possibly I'm trying to keep my eye on the time because I want to be able to take you with me on a little voyage into the world that is Songkran.
he will even try to get his audience to hate young children by showing them saying things against Palestine.
The vile, dehumanizing race.
Oh, I don't think that's what he's trying to get across there. I think he's trying to show you the mentality that's being encouraged. You know, the mentality that, you know, like young children. Also, wait, are these young children? Or are these like college-aged people? Chat, you tell me. Like, is you know, maybe high school, but like it kind of looks like young children. They are not. Like, how dare you show the racist TikToks that pop off in the Israeli you know, niche in TikTok? How dare you?
Racism that is required to uphold a project like this.
Okay, so there was one there was one person that you might call like a young you know, child, one person that looked like they might be middle school age. That was the closest thing I saw. What is this? I do want to see Songkran though. Yeah, I know. I gotta I mean, this is interesting stuff, but this dude is just a fucking neocon who can't edit. Well, I don't know. Do you know more about him than I do? I as far as neocon, as far as his ideology, all I know about his perspective is it seems to be kind of incel-y, but in terms of his politics, I couldn't say. I haven't watched enough. Did he just say that Noah should do a video showing why? Yeah, basically why it's justified, why killing innocents in Gaza is justified. That's like a Chromecast slideshow. Yeah, RIP Chromecast, right? Why did they do what happened? Can somebody explain to me what happened to Chromecast? young children where there was like one person that might have been in middle school. That's the closest thing I saw. Older teenagers, these look like 30-year-olds. Yeah, 20, 30-year-olds, and then maybe one middle schooler. Problem is across their entire society. Yeah, there are genocide supporters of all ages. Teenagers are fucked up getting better skin routines. I don't like this glasses frame. Wait, the red glasses? The frame that I stopped on? Some of Think Before You Sleep's most recent videos include titles such as Video Games Censorship Has Gotten Insane, The Failures of Diversity Hiring, How Diversity Hiring is Making Everyone Less Safe, and the problem with convincing people to go childless. You know, the other video that that I noticed there was they're censoring anime now. And if I'm not mistaken, it's what's being responded to there is wasn't there a law against the depiction of, like, you know, basically the same shit that Vosh would complain about, right? It's like that. And I'm sure that these assholes, when the Vosh thing happened, they all were like, yep, this is a typical leftist. Fire TV and Roku killed Chromecast. Look at the Pulaski. Wait, Pulaski. What is that? Illinois? Skyway? Oh, is that what that is? Okay. Is that Illinois? I only know the name Pulaski from Stuff John Stevens. His red glasses don't suit him. Yeah, you could say that. I was just being petty. Yeah, I don't even know who this guy is, honestly. Is this another Israeli content creator, maybe? I can't tell. Did anyone see Zach Wood's commentary on DEI and Harriet Tubman? No. Did not see that. I'll have to check that out. I still use my Chromecast on my TV. It's very convenient. Wait, so does it still work? I thought I read that they killed it. I used to use it to watch YouTube videos or Crunchyroll or whatever on TV. Anti-LGBTQIA people think that anime makes people gay and trans. Wait, was that what it was from, or was there something? Was there a particular law that like might impact like loli themed content that this guy might have been talking about? I'm not sure. What has this world come to? Those children on the right. Oh no, he's not. But he's reacting to them, maybe. This dude interviews Israelis and seems disturbed. Oh, I see. So that's the guy that made the original video, or that made a video on this phenomenon. Not buying more gear just because someone is better. That's the fucking problem with consumerism. Yeah, Texas outlawed hentai. Oh, so they straight up outlawed anything that's still use my Chromecast and a fairly newly built hotel I stayed at has them installed.
Debbie Cliff super chatted $9.99. Devil May Cry anime talked about George Bush, but the dude went to Trump's inauguration. That show made me deeply upset. Also, Dante wasn't hot a new GH.
He was not hot a new GH. Yeah, I agree. I hate it when people aren't hot a new GH. No, that is the TTS being weird. The dude, wait, the mangaka went to Trump's inauguration. Is that what you're saying, Davi? Either way, thank you for the super chat. We are well on our way to Songkran, and that makes me realize, chat, that we gotta flip modes. Gotta flip modes and cover the other video. Hentai is illegal now too, apparently in Texas. That or the type of corn that would include loli. I can't remember exactly, but I think Asman was crying about it. That's right. No, the American anime director. Okay, not the mangaka. how do you outlaw hentai? I'm not sure. I haven't kept up on the Texas story. Okay, so let's find the other video. Oh my god, chat. We maybe.
Narwhal _ super chatted $5. Texas is bizarre. There are 500 cases of measles, 2 children have died, and they made sure to outlaw hentai.
Yeah, they got their priorities straight in Lone Star State. But thank you for the super chat. I had the Chrome version 3 and it's just fine. Okay, I thought I read something about that Google was getting rid of it. Or like I don't know. I don't even know what I read anymore, chat. There's too much like really important news and really horrible news and really tragic news and disturbing, scary news that it's just like it's hard for me to like keep up with the latest on Texas laws. All right, so chat, I've hit you with the bad video essay. Now I will hit you with the good video essay.
My only crime is wanting a two-state solution instead of one, and thinking it's not okay to kill Israeli civilians.
Again, in the context where the two-state solution has been used as an excuse for the continued displacement of the Palestinian people, what are you really saying? What are you really saying? Oh, aren't you so magnanimous, Ethan? You want to give the Palestinians their own state. Wow. Wow, Ethan. That and thoughts and prayers and empathy and consideration just make you such a great person. How dare anybody say that you're backing a genocide just because the dent of your content is attacking creators advocating to free Palestine.
That's it.
At the end of January this year, Ethan Klein of H3H3 Productions posted what is undeniably one of the most popular pieces of pro-Israel propaganda that the internet has seen in months. The video boasts more than 200,000 likes and over 3 million views. And whilst Ethan would probably balk at this video being called pro-Israel, it was even initially sponsored by ExpressVPN, an Israeli-owned company whose owners have extensive links to the Israeli military through funding it, and also even going as far to fund trips for Israeli soldiers perpetrating the genocide in Gaza to go back and see their family. Now, the original goal of Ethan's video was to deplatform and discredit the Twitch streamer Hasan Piker. However, the video has backfired because although Ethan had been on a near 15-month-long
Pulaski Skyway is from New Jersey, Jersey City to Newark, coming from the Holland Tunnel, and you can floor it. No cops there. Damn. Okay, first, is there something in Illinois